is up? How you doing, Antonio? Forza Milan.
Forza Milan, Roy. How are you? I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too. What's up, Chad? How's everybody doing? Forza Milan, guys. Crazy news. Crazy news today, right?
Big stuff.
Antonio?
Big
Yeah.
stuff. I was thinking, so we have two main topics. The first one is on the screen,
Okay.
a player, and the second one is the Maldini interview that came out today, which is
Okay.
really interesting. And I think we should just get Noah Lang out of the way first. But in the chat, like I saw this earlier, beyond the lines.
Oh, sorry.
What
Sorry.
the
Sorry.
heck?
Sorry. Go
My
ahead.
fault. Beyond the lines. What the heck are you saying here?
That's a great topic. That's very good. I want to push back on that. Very
But we'll do
good
that. We'll do
beyond the
that after.
lines.
We'll do
I
that
like
after.
that.
So just first things first, before we get into this Maldini discussion, let's talk about Noah Lang because
Okay.
so really rapid development. I mean, so this guy we've been linked with for like I'd say at different times this year, a few times. Um, I just looked into his stats this season. He has 7 goals, 13 assists. 20 goal contributions, pretty solid. I believe he's
Sorry. Sorry. Repeat. How many?
7 goals, 13
Seven goals,
assists.
13 assists.
He's 22 years old. He's about
Okay.
to turn 23 though in June.
Okay.
Um, and he played in the Champions League group stage. And from what I heard, he may not have. He only had 1 assist,
Hmm.
no goals. But he was in a very difficult group with Man City, PSG, and I heard that he played well as dribbling and attacking like chances created.
Okay. And sorry, what team does he play for?
Club Bruges.
Club Bruges. Club Bruges is in Belgium, right?
Yes, and actually,
Uh,
I will check the league table right now.
yes. Let's find out where he finished in the league. 7 goals, 13 assists are pretty decent numbers for a winger. I mean, the level in Belgium is high. It's a competitive league. It's obviously not top tier, the top tier leagues, but it's just below it.
Yeah, he
Um,
finished second. They finished
Finished
second.
second.
Yeah.
Okay, and who won? Who won the?
This random team I haven't heard before called Union Saint Gillois, I think it's pronounced.
Oh,
But let me look up the rest of the.
wait.
I see.
Arpit says Bruges won the JPL.
So it's kind of been confusing with me because when I look up the what's it called, their leagues, they say that they have like a regular season league, then they have championship rounds, conference, and they have playoffs. So maybe I'll look back on that. But let me click on Club Bruges and see their standings.
In the meantime, we got Red John in the chat. He says, "Why waste time on Noah Lang? Maldini spoke yesterday, and he basically said he can't negotiate because he doesn't even know if we will be here in the summer." Gazeta is writing BS rumors. Guys, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we're definitely going to deep
That's
dive
gonna
into
take up
that. Yeah.
most of the stream. Um, I mean, I'm looking. It says overall standings 2021, 2022. Club Brugge first in this league. So maybe they did. So it's confusing because if you look it up on Google, the table is different. So
Oh, he won like the like the domestic cup. Because he
yeah.
says CDK with some trophy. I don't know. Okay. Anyway,
Regardless,
doesn't matter.
first or
Doesn't matter.
second, same thing.
Yeah.
Um, good player. Third cost is reportedly 22 million euros. So that's a pretty reasonable investment. That's a pretty sizable investment. And a 5-year deal. And apparently, so his agents were in Milano today, Casa Milan, and
Oh,
I think
really?
that and I think they
Phew.
reached an agreement already on
Are
the
you serious?
over a 5. Yeah. Oh, that's why it's kind of very rapidly. But this is from Gazzetta dello Sport, so at the same time,
Gazzetta
take
dello...
take it or leave it. You have to kind of see it confirmed. But it says apparently, I mean, I think he's also posted on his Instagram before hinting some Milan hint or something like that in the past. So he really wants to come to the club.
Hold on. Let's get this straight. La Gazzetta dello Sport is saying that their agents were at Casa Milan, and they have an agreement for 5 million for 5 years.
Yeah, it says okay, so based on what I'm reading, it says the player has already been found on the basis of a 5-year deal, while the 22 million asking price from Club Bruges has not put Paolo Maldini and Ricky Massaro off to the extent that with a small discount, it is likely that the deal can be closed. So it looks like an economic agreement has been found. That's what I'm reading between the
Wow.
player. not with
Wow.
Club Bruges.
Not with Club Brugge. Ah, okay, okay. So with the player versus. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Honestly, we can maybe review him another time and like discuss if he's more if it becomes increasingly serious. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, look, I'll be honest. As far as this player goes, is not definitely one of the top prospects that is going to really bring Milan to the next level. If Maldini,
yet,
if
yet.
Maldini, who, from what he says, he wants players that are going to be right away competitive in the Champions League. This guy is not it. You know, obviously we got to see what this mercato is going to bring
Yeah.
because we're going to see. And what do you think? Do you think he'd be a good player for AC Milan?
I think he's had flashes of uh like not world class but like quality flashes of a quality player. His finishing looks pretty decent. He is more on his right foot, like, and he doesn't use his left foot as much, but he can sometimes finish. But a lot of the highlights that I saw were kind of like, there was a reasonable amount of goals that were sort of almost tap-ins. The defense was pretty poor, but he has a decent shot. So I think he's a decent player. He's young, but yeah, he's not going to be. He's definitely like a Milan, an Elliott signing, not like world
Yeah, I think
class.
that's right. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. It's an Elliott signing.
And
Exactly.
and I think this is a good transition. And honestly,
Yeah.
because like you said, we have no idea because what's going to happen if these rumors go anywhere. Because at the end of the day, if we change ownership, that is going to change our basically our whole trajectory. Because we no matter what, we still have to pay the transfer fee for this guy. So it's nothing's done.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. I don't think there's going to be any agreements with players up until the club is sold. So I mean, we can be logical about that. Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about who the fuck is this guy? Poop Maldini, Italy legend. These are your crazy cousins, bro.
I don't know these people.
Dude, what the fuck, man?
I don't
Uh,
know these people.
all right.
No, it's not blocking people though. Come on.
Okay. Anyway, listen. Let's talk about Maldini. Let's talk about Maldini. Let's
We
talk
have
about
to go
Maldini.
through this. So basically, if you guys have been
Go
living
for it.
under a rock, right?
Yeah.
We have an interview that came out today.
Okay.
Um, Basically, Maldini, in this interview, revealed a lot of, his. He was asked some pretty deep questions, and I was surprised at some of the answers he gave. And I guess I can read through the first. I can kind of dissect this, and we can talk about each piece.
Go for it. Go for it.
So, okay, I'm gonna skip to the questions, right? So the first part says, this is just his quote. Our deals are about to expire and we have not renewed. And he's talking about him and Masada. I must say that for our path and for what has happened in the past during the period of crisis with Ragnick, I find it disrespectful that to date the CEO and Elliot have not even sat down to talk to us. That is the first quote that I'm going to read. And honestly, I was not expecting this because it really highlights, finally we have some sort of clear statement about the disconnect between Elliot and the management. And he used the word disrespectful.
Mm, yeah. I
You
find
know,
it very strange because Gazidis and Maldini interact with each other almost every day. I mean, they work in the same building. So I'm pretty sure they see each other every day. It sounds so strange because he talks about Gazidis also being the CEO. He talks. It's so strange to me that Gazidis never approached him about this conversation, and it definitely shows that there's never been any sort of communication between the technical area, Maldini and Masara, and the ownership. There's literally zero relationship. There's zero communication.
yeah. And Alan here says this. So Maldini has been carrying Milan pretty much in management. I mean, Maldini and Masara, and of course some other people. But yes, that's what that's the conclusion that I came to today,
Well,
basically.
no, that's been his job.
Yeah.
Maldini has been the guy that has been in charge of the technical area of a team, building the
Basic,
squad. He's
basically,
building the squad. Yeah.
listen, this is kind of being cynical, but not only has Maldini been tasked with, given very little funds relative to some other teams by Elliot, but he's basically just been like left it, to deal with it on his own while Elliot's, worrying about, their investment fund.
But to be honest, yeah, but to be honest with you, I like that. I like that. I like the fact that the ownership is completely distant and just lets the maestro do his job. I definitely like that.
There's
So I'm
good,
not going to be
yeah.
complaining about that.
We can debate Elliot later after we finish the article, but
Yeah.
there's good and bad because that's gonna take up like an hour. But there's good and bad sides to that. I think when the owners are too manipulative, like I think like Thomas Tuchel was talking about PSG's ownership and how he felt uncomfortable, and then he went to Chelsea and like owners like Abramovich who are very passionate about the club, but at the same time they still maintain, they don't manipulate, they're not as controlling as some other owners. I think that would be ideal personally. I wish there was more of a connection so that Maldini doesn't feel disrespected and there's like an owner that actually cares more, wants to see us win. So that was just surprising for me.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because we're going to find out how they respond to Maldini. This was a clear message. Maldini sent out a message in the world telling these guys, yo, I'm here. I made this happen. You guys still haven't talked to me. He's
Yeah.
putting out a message out there, and it's an attack. It's a strong attack. He's criticizing. He's criticizing them. So it is very. One thing I gotta say about Maldini's character. Maldini has always been a guy that his idea was it's my way or the highway. Maldini's always been like that.
Mhm.
And this is why Maldini waited, and he's been asked many times to work at different clubs. He waited for his time to start at Milan when he was ready, when the grounds, when everything, when all the stars were aligned. So he started under the mentorship of Leonardo. Then after Leonardo, by the time he was ready to, by the time Leonardo left, fucking dude, this motherfucker. By the time Leonardo left, he took the club. He took the club, and from a student, he became a professor. At this point, he's saying, "Yo, if you want to keep me, you got to do things my way, because I'm not going to play the game of maintenance." He used these words. I'm not going to just maintain the club. I don't want to
Yeah.
maintain the club. I want to create a winning club. And if you don't give me those guarantees, I'm not staying. This is what he said. People need to understand. He's saying, either you do things my way or I'm out. This is what he's saying.
Right. And yeah, I respect that. I honestly, after reading this interview personally, I felt like, wow, man, like I felt really proud of like what he's done so far for us. I mean, it's also rare because he's very humble. He's always been super humble. And this is kind of like, I'm not saying he was like bragging or anything, but he was, for the first time, he kind of like, was honest, I think, and revealed some key information about like behind the scenes, what's going on. Um, yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of opinions in the chat.
Um.
More money cannot win Champions League, but with the right transfer guru like Maldini, AC Milan can buy a right player for AC Milan. Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that I agree partially. I think money though is very important to actually win the Champions League, but of course you need a management and money balance in my opinion. Moncada, Maldini, Massara. Banter era 2.0. We're going to talk about this later. But hey, there's potential. There's potential. This
No,
melts
listen,
down.
listen. I want to be clear. What I ultimately think is that what's going to happen is that right now, Maldini is just being, he wants to get things going, right? He needs to start because he can't wait because there's sharks in the sea ready to catch all these players. So he needs to start right away. That's essentially a big part of why I think he's doing this. So he needs to have guarantees. He needs to understand what the strategy is going to be for him.
Yeah.
But I do think that Redbird, they're coming in to create a club. They said they want to create Milan the same way as a brand as the New York Yankees are. Correct? This
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
they said. So when we talk about New York Yankees in America, We're talking about the Real Madrid of sports, right?
Baseball, yeah.
Of baseball. They're the Real Madrid of baseball in sports. They're the biggest franchise in America, probably.
And basically, yeah,
And maybe in the world, one of the biggest in the world.
yeah,
So this is what they're comparing. But in order to do that, you got to win. Yankees became the Yankees because they always won. They're always winning. Win, 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 win. So I'm sure they're lucky they have a maestro right there working for them. So they better exploit the maestro and say, yes, maestro, we'll give you everything you need, win for us, and make us lots of money.
yeah. Maldini wants contract and a bigger budget, of course. That's what I picked up as well.
Say what? Say that again?
I said no. Maldini wants a contract and a bigger budget. Our Pete said that, and I disagreed. I mean, I agreed. And yeah, there's a lot of disagreements. But honestly, let's move on to the next part of the
Right.
article. Okay, I'm reading the next one. Okay. Okay, so this is just a continuation of that quote, and he just says, I'm just saying to talk because they might also tell us your work was not good enough to continue, or it may be that I say, I don't like your strategy. So basically, he's saying he wants to negotiate at least. As I said at the time, I like to be a sort of guarantee for the AC Milan fans. I'm not the right person to do a project that doesn't have a winning idea. I could never do that. The reality is that the owners have never sat down at the table, and this is not good. So not really. So that's kind of like a continuation of the first quote, and we don't really have to like say much more. But yeah, that's just like shows the divide between them. Um, and so then he dedicates the league win to his parents, which is interesting. Uh, and then talks about he talks about his son Daniel Maldini and how they don't really like he doesn't talk too much like, and so he congratulated him within his home. I'll keep moving down. Um, Yeah, and a lot of like positive comments about the Scudetto win. Let me find the next like controversial quote.
Yeah, go ahead. It is. It's definitely. It's very impactful. It definitely sent out ripples in the ether. This is. He sent out an attack. So
Yeah.
very interesting. What's going to happen? Yeah, keep on going.
It says so. This is an interesting like little quote that he gave. So when talking about the players they signed, like getting a mixture of older talent and younger, prospects. He says, of course, they were different stories. In Zlatan, for example, we asked him to give us what he could bring to the group right now. For a young man like Kalulu, the speech was the first 6 months you watch and learn. You are in the homeland of defense, memorize everything. Sooner or later, the opportunity arrives. The personal relationship is one I've established with the players. Most of them are young people who needed guidance. Many consider me as a second father. So, big role for Maldini.
Oh, dude, it's too important. It's too important because people. The thing is, like, I think a lot of people don't make this connection. They got to make this connection that Maldini is not just there to make deals, but he's there to build relationships with these players.
Yeah. And not yeah. And the players also are expecting this relationship because like when you know that Maldini's there, like for example, in like every single interview I've seen of Tomori, they always ask him, "Oh, how is Paolo Maldini? Like, what has he taught you?" And then Tomori's always like, "Yeah, when I first got the call from him, I was amazed. It was amazing." Like Maldini is like an icon. I mean, we all know this. Like
Yeah,
like when we played Liverpool, Van Dijk looked like he was like a fanboy when he met Maldini
he, he,
at
he
Anfield.
yeah, he definitely is an icon. Maldini is our Lord and Savior. That's funny.
Yeah. I'm being serious though. Like he actually like was like fanboying over him. Like
No, I know a lot of players do because guys, Maldini has achieved things that a lot of people dream of achieving, but very few people are able to achieve what Maldini has achieved, and he's done it with style, with class. He did it with
yeah,
style and class.
yeah. Okay, the next quote here is it's about Milan's ability to construct a winning team despite not necessarily spending huge money on individual players. This is kind of a long quote. I'll just start. The 21 players that under my direct management we have signed outright have resulted in a net expenditure of 75 million between signings and sales. When I decided to stay after Leonardo's farewell, I had a higher budget in mind. Then the idea of doing things, but of doing them not necessarily, but because you are convinced must prevail over that of spending what you have. If I can save the club money, I will, and this has meant that my vision has completely changed. I understood that young players must be given opportunities, but it is necessary to make them feel trust, especially in difficult moments, something that never happened to me as a boy. One of the more, and then the next question's about Manyan, but that's just like an interest. So he does talk about. I don't think he said this before, like how his mentality had to change with the the money that was available, just different than what we previously experienced under the previous owners.
Yeah, so basically, from there, it reveals a lot of things that, we asked ourselves a lot during, even in this podcast here, conversing and just fighting with each other, debating like crazy. Like, so Maldini, he thought he was going to have a higher budget going into it. And then when the change happened, when he was actually given the papers, he said, look, this is the situation. This is what we need to do. This is the budget that you're going to use. So that kind of like put him a little bit in this, oh shit, I got to make things happen, with this, blah, blah, blah. Kind of put a little bit of fire, behind him. But this says why we've asked, how come they didn't get that player? How come they didn't get this player? Because they didn't have the funds to do it.
Yeah.
So they had to invent. They had to get with ideas, with vision. They did it.
Well,
Just
right.
using football
Yeah.
knowledge. Just using football knowledge.
I will say this though. I don't know if it's not the fact that Elliot didn't have the money. It's that they didn't have the management didn't have the money from Elliot. I think that's the big
No,
understanding
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Now,
Right.
this is the thing that I agree with Elliot. Because Milan was a mess. Milan was an absolute mess. The debt and the situation with Milan was absolutely disgusting. It had to be fixed. You want a healthy club. That's the best thing you can do for your club. To make it become self-sustainable, that is brilliant. Of course, it's a long road, but you have to start by cutting the debt and creating a healthy club. We were extremely lucky that this happened right when Maldini was ready to do his job. And Maldini, with his genius, made it happen with limited funds, just by ideas, just by vision, just by creating these relationships, just by understanding football.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic.
Whew.
No, he's unbelievable. And Masada, of course. Don't forget Masada.
Yeah, Masada Moncada too, of course.
Yeah. I mean, Moncada got some gems.
Now, other question for you.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on Gazidis? Because I want to say also Gazidis has helped, but
I like Gazidis, honestly.
yeah, I mean, when Gazidis came to Milan, for me, Gazidis was a big red flag because I thought that, I associate him to the Arsenal model, which is something that I don't like, and I think a lot of us did. But then we saw that he was working well. But now with this whole situation that Maldini brings up, it gives me a different feeling regarding Gazidis. What do you think?
I honestly don't mind Gazidis. I think Gazidis would still. I mean, it's interesting to see how he would function with new owners, different owners. But currently, I mean, I can't really complain with the job he's done. I mean, I think he's helped expand us as a brand. Um, he's obviously very influential in the Scudetto win, very well respected. So I don't have any problems with him.
Mm-mm. What's up, Nathan? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, and I think we can move on to the next. So there's one more, I think, big part of the article. But before that, he was just asked. I mean, I skipped over some individual players like Magnan and Tomori. He does kind of discuss Donnarumma a little bit, but nothing, like conflicting. He just says that like they didn't really speak that much about renewing the contract, stuff like that. But he does talk about Pioli, which is pretty interesting. Um, and let me see this. Okay, so he says, what surprised me is the intensity of the transmission of his ideas and the energy he puts into Milanello. I told him several times, you can change all the game systems you want, but don't lose this energy, which is vital for us. And look, he's also tough in the things he says. I really like this. With Masada, we often sit with him to try and improve something. We do this especially when things are going well, because we are more open to dialogue. The right man to open a cycle, he is certainly an important component. So that's just like, overall backing of Pioli. the word choice is, interesting at the last part, opening a Pioli cycle, but I mean, honestly, you can't doubt this man right now. So I think Pioli is definitely someone we should stay with for considerable future.
Yeah, 100%.
Um, to comment on that as well, I was thinking of coaches who were able to come in and make this type of impact more immediately for a team in Milan's situation, and I can't really think of any. And the only coach I could think of who, came in and kind of had a rough start was Ferguson. And we all see how that turned out. So, I mean, you never know. Pioli could be, something really special.
Yeah, Nathan, I do. So as of now, I know things can change, but you admit that you were a bit wrong about Pioli
I still,
because
I,
because you
I,
you
st-
did say you were very, I think you were pretty Pioli out at one point.
um, I, w- I'll say I've never been 100% Pioli out. I've always said that I can't be 100% until I see how he is with a full squad. But
Yeah.
the only thing I will say for Pioli is just to continue to try new ideas. And we've seen now for 2 years in a row when Pioli decides, okay, we got to try something quick to get things moving, it works.
Yeah.
So he just needs to do that a bit earlier, like when bad games happen, but after like two bad games, it's time to think outside the box. So I think if he can just do those decisions a bit quicker,
Yeah.
he will be tremendously more successful.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think that you have to remember he's like this is his first, I think, major trophy. I don't know if he's won like any cups or anything. Um, but
As a
he's
coach or personally?
no, I
As a
mean, I'm
coach,
sorry,
as a coach,
as a
he's
coach,
number one. He's number
yeah,
one.
yeah. Um, and remember that the thing with him is that you can see the improvement every year. Like if you look at the first year, I mean, we started off with him. We adapted him very quickly, and last season we got 70 something points. We played well. We had some more inconsistencies. This season we were more consistent, and we looked more like a team in difficult moments. So we're constantly improving with him. So you can't really doubt him right now.
Yeah, listen, Pioli is definitely number one, guys. I mean, his job is. I've had moments where I criticized him last year when he used Leao as a center forward. I really didn't like that. And I think he did have better options. People were saying, well, that was his only option. I thought he did have better options. And then I've criticized him this year when he started with an offensive team from the get go and not having sufficient offensive players coming in from the bench, meaning that he would be forced to start offensive and then finish defensive. Me
Yeah.
and Laird thought, no, with this team, you got to start defensive and finish offensive. And there was a moment where he didn't do that, but when he started doing that, he started getting lots of goals.
Yeah.
So I'm all for Pioli, man.
Oh, yeah, also, I'm just thinking about the things with Pioli, like in Europe, like in the Europa League last season, Champions League this season, we had some terrible injury crises. Like, I mean, like, we made it against, I forget exactly what stage it was against Manchester United in the Europa League, and they were not anything special.
I mean,
But
we
we
should
were
have got
playing
through that round.
yeah, we were playing Krunic and Castillejo in the second game against them at home. And Krunic was much worse last year than he was this year. He's much more consistent. Castillejo didn't really do much. A lot of other missing players, I thought, and it was just a scramble. And then this season we saw that we were also, stripped for players in some positions in the Champions League. A lot. So we just have to keep working on the depth, and then like you said, give them the opportunity to have a full squad, a healthy squad, because even teams like Liverpool can get destroyed by injuries. So
Anyway,
And
sorry,
oh
go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead, Roy. Go ahead, Roy.
Yeah, really fast. I saw a Gazzetta dello Sport article that was very interesting, very mouth-watering. Let me look for it. Maldini has three players in mind: Bremer, Sanchez, Zaniolo. This is the first page
fantastic.
of the Gazzetta dello Sport. It says this is the list. for Maldini's Champions League team? Bremer, Sanchez, Zaniolo, Carlo Laudiza.
Roy,
A guy that is hit and miss, Carlo Laudiza.
I'm just going to say this, like, this could kind of spark another like conversation, but I've always said, first of all, that sounds fantastic. I've always said, if Bremer is the best center back this year, and now it looks like Newcastle is trying to hijack the Botman deal, which is honestly I'm fine with that because I don't really mind. But why, if we won the Scudetto, go for Bremer if you have the Pobega link? If I think personally we go for the best defender in the league. Like I honestly I'm 100% for that. But
I think Bremer would be an excellent purchase. Excellent purchase.
We can go to a 3-back with Bremer. He has the
You can do
athleticism to do it.
Yep.
yeah,
It's all about giving Pioli options, and really that's all he really lacks is just options to do different things.
yeah. Okay. And I guess we have to read the last part of the article, but let's just looking at the.
What is this? Hold on. What is Red John saying? We didn't get any injuries by the end of the season. It has nothing to do with him, but it has to do with the fact that we played once a week for 2 months.
Well, Red John, at the same time, like, our depth can definitely improve. Even if we, regardless, our bench players in some situations, especially last season, this season a bit less, you could definitely see that we dropped off in quality significantly. Like,
Wait.
and
Are you comparing last season to this season?
yes.
Is that what you're comparing? No, guys. Last season, it's the bench. We had a bench this season.
Yeah, we see exactly. That's what I'm saying. We had a better bench this season, but
Yeah.
still, we still face some Champions League problems early on in the season. And of course, it's because we play more games. I'm not saying, of course, that influences that, but you can't really take that away from Pioli. That's my
And
point.
also, I want to say that it looks like that the medical staff and the whole physical preparation, they found a way to make sure that nobody got injured. In this last period,
Steroids.
in this last period where we had these 4 games in a row that we had to win, none of our players ever got injured.
Yeah.
None of them.
It's Radu's birthday, guys.
Oh yeah, and he also got married.
Nice. Okay, so let's finish. Well, there's this comment about layout, and really briefly, we should just go through and just answer. I don't think for 150, I don't see any club buying him out this summer.
Look, Maldini said that he wants to, Leao, you have to keep him. But he did say some. Are you going to read that about Leao, or have you read that?
Sure. He did. He said that he was untouchable, basically.
He said he was untouchable, but he did say also some other things. Did you touch on the other things?
I didn't. Is it in this same article? Because I. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, I found it. Yeah,
That's him being like
that's at the end
150 or something.
That's at the end. I'll read it. I'll read exactly what he says after we go over the next point.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you.
Keep on going.
Have a good
All
night.
right. Okay, so this next part of the article talks about. Here we go. Okay. This summer. So the question was this summer. It's about the summer mercato. And it says, the summer mercato is a big one, given the next step for the club is not only to defend the title, but also to go further in the Champions League. And Maldini also spoke about the ambition that the club must have. This is his quote. Today, Milan, with a high-level strategic vision, can go on to compete next year with the biggest clubs. If, on the other hand, we choose a vision of maintenance without investments, without an idea from Milan, we would remain in limbo among the best 6 or 7 teams in Italy to try to win the Scudetto and qualify for the Champions League. So basically, if we don't invest, we're going to be back to square, not back to square one, but we're just going to be still trying to struggle for qualification of the Champions League. And then the next quote: "This is why it is time for the owners, Elliot, or the one that might arrive, to close the 3-year period and understand what strategy they want for the future. With 2 or 3 important signings and the consolidation of the players we have, we can compete for something bigger in the Champions League." I mean, when I read that, I got chills. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Why?
He's 100. I know Roy in the chat.
But
I mean, you were trolling a little bit, but you were also telling the truth in the chat, Roy. And I mean, you and Red John were both correct. But Maldini, he has the right to ask for this. Like, it's not like we're Sassuolo. And and demanding something like that is just kind of like, okay, get over yourself. This is Milan. Like
Yeah, I
the
agree that
only,
I agree with what he. I mean, look, listen. I think that if this is how he feels, this is what he should say. If he feels that, look, I've done this my job, but now I want to have guarantees. It looks like he doesn't want to wait for the Champions League.
Right. I will
He's
say this.
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I think that we've had a lot of discussions on this channel about like, and I'm not going to say that I've gotten a lot of things wrong, but I have said, if you want to be a big club in the Champions League, you need to increase the investments. You have to do that. And if now people have disagreed with me, they say money doesn't equal success, like you said before, and I'm not saying you disagree on this specific thing, but people have disagreed with me on that, and I think that if you have everyone puts faith in Maldini for what he's done, if he is telling you this, then he's being realistic, guys. If you need to invest if you want to compete with the biggest clubs in Europe. You have to invest not to the same level as Man City and PSG, but you have to invest to an extent where you can every once in a while compete for a world class player. I mean, we're not there yet, but if why not go for an Nkunku with new owners or something like that? Like we just won the Serie A. We are in a power position right now. We can go to that next level if we invest more. That's all I'm saying.
Well, listen. If he can make that happen, then great, then great. If he can convince or not convince, if honestly, it's not got to do with him. It's not his choice. He's just saying if I'm going. He's saying I'm going to stay only if. I mean, are you guys hearing that? Am I the
yeah.
only person that is hearing that?
Well, he has to be renewed. I mean,
Right.
so there's a lot
His
of
contract
uncertainty.
is expiring in like 30 days, and he's
Yeah.
saying he said it. He said it. I'll only stay if the club operates in a certain way. He's not
Yeah.
gonna stay if he don't. People need to understand this. He's not
Yeah,
gonna stay.
this is honestly like what when Joel said this is like dangerous and we should all be scared. I think he said, I agree, well, to an extent because this is risky. Because what if the Elliott deal breaks down? Then the fact that Maldini spoke out against them could kind of jeopardize that, and potentially if we lose Maldini, I'd be very concerned.
No, if you
I,
lose
Honestly,
s- I
Maldini, you
still
lose everything.
I
Everything.
still
yeah,
think I still think he has a right to say it. I don't care who the owner is. Like this whole frugal spending thing was fine when we weren't in the Champions League, but we got second place last year. And if y'all remember, they said the budget last year was actually to finish outside the top four, not finish second. Then we win the league this year. At this point, it's like, come on, man, you got to stop, BSing with this team. We're too big of a team to try and act like we're Arsenal or something like that.
No, oh yeah, yeah. Listen, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he feels like, I mean, these are the names he wants: Bremer, Sanchez, and Zaniolo. I mean, is that really too much to ask? I don't think that's much to ask. Like
No,
Bremer is not like a player that is going to cost you 60 million. Sanchez, we know how much he's going to cost. He's going to cost something like 15 to 20. Zaniolo might be the one that you have to spend a little bit more on, you know. But that's literally what we fucking made this year.
yeah.
yeah.
And Origi is coming in. You know,
Divock Origi.
there you go.
And the
So
thing is, Roy, it's not
that's
like
it.
we
That's the
need.
squad right there.
It's not like we need to have like a revolution. We literally need
Absolutely not.
three
Hey
big
guys,
time
yeah.
players.
Hey guys, Champions League final tomorrow. If Liverpool are somehow down at the end of the game, even though Origi's injured slightly, I have a feeling Klopp's gonna be like, go out there and score that clutch sub goal, guy. Like find a way to go out there and win.
Hmm.
No, I'm kidding. He's not gonna play. I'm pretty positive he's not gonna play. But medical next week. So
Yeah, listen. If he can finish this, if he says, in order for me to stay, we're going to start this season with this team that we have, with plus, well, minus Romagnoli, Kessie, etc. But plus Bremer, Sanchez, Zaniolo, Origi. I mean, and confirm Florenzi, renew Leao, and you're done, man. That's all you got to do.
well, we need a cam and a right winger, But
Well,
Zaniolo is
Zaniolo
your
is a right
is
wing.
oh wait,
He
sorry, I
can he
forgot.
can
Well, one.
he can
Well,
play
we need
both.
another, and I think we still need one more
you
forward.
can put
Sign.
both, and you can put Sanchez, but like that's not going to break the bank, you know,
That's
if
true.
you
Yeah,
do
because
that.
I can see Sanchez as the cam and Zaniolo as the right wing, and then we have Origi in forward. So,
But I will
I
say
mean,
this though. I think that yes, that's financially possible. Well, Bremer could be a bit more expensive now that he's like, he won the best defender. At the same time though, I think Maldini in this comment was really meaning like if you want Milan to compete with the best teams in Europe, like the top of the top, I think we still need to to improve, make more improvements, and with like more than just those three names. I think it's a bit of an oversimplification.
well, I mean, once we get those three like those three, you know, players that he wants, then we can go in and we can get, Noah Lang and Kudos or De Ketelaere or some other young players to learn from him. But the first thing we have to do is finish the starting 11. We don't have a complete starting
Yeah.
11. You
No,
don't get your bench players
I
before your starting 11. That's literally the opposite.
was joking around with another player or another person like 2 days ago, and the Mkhitaryan to Inter deal. We were saying like, look at Inter going for like Milan strategy of like players on like free transfers, affordable older players sometimes, and at the same time, as much as you can say that Inter are getting an older player who's not as gets injuries and stuff, Mkhitaryan would be our starting cam right now. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
Currently,
he would
Oh,
be.
Mkhitaryan
He
is a
would
good
be.
player, guys. He's a
he's a
good player.
he's a really good player, but not you
Um,
can't really rely on him being healthy for too long.
I don't know if you
That's
spoke
true.
about it, Antonio, but there was something that he did touch upon when it came to the wages. Um, Talking about players. Players, maybe they're going to wait to see if there's going to be more money, suggesting that players are waiting to renew in order to see that with Redbird, they're going to get better salaries. He
Yeah.
said,
Okay. Yes, he did say that. There was a
yeah,
point about that.
yeah.
I can read the quote if I find it, but I wanted to finish. I think. Let me see. How much more is there? Important things to talk about. Um. Okay.
Do you think
I
that's fair, Roy?
What? What is fair?
Waiting to see if they can get more wages,
Yeah.
better wages.
okay. So
Um, at this point, yeah, because there's going to be this change of ownership. So I think it's a smart thing to do because I mean you have to do it anyway. You have to wait for them anyway. So
yeah,
go
guys.
ahead.
So just to finish, on the new ownership, he added, I had no contact with them. We were told this after it appeared in the press, but I had perceived something living inside the headquarters, but it wasn't a problem. In the end, when you manage to create a special team group like ours, these indiscretions do not disturb the environment. At Milanello, we went ahead knowing in any case that we had a strong club behind us, always punctual in payments. Of course, there was curiosity. Some player with whom we were talking about renewals told us, let's wait because maybe there will be more money. And by the way, this is like, I was going to get to this, so I didn't miss it so far. The signings for the future, we have been moving for months, but at the moment, we do not have the financial resources to think about this qualitative leap. Also, because we're in a phase of transition, we will see. So, transition, guys. Transitioning to
Yeah.
become a big, big club. Big again.
Also ownership. He's talking about.
Yeah, I know. But the qualitative leap as well. I kind of implied that, but
Yeah.
and then he closed the interview by talking about Leao and Ibrahimovic, and he says about the clause. It says, "Is Leao unsellable? Of course." He said, "Is Leao unsellable? Of course." Right. So he has a diamond that is still in the rough, who has had great improvements from one year to the next. We took him from Lille by paying 24 million, and we immediately put a clause of 150 million on him because
You.
Boban, Masada, and I believed in him. He potentially has always been a champion. He had to follow a path which, moreover, is not yet finished. He's extremely intelligent and needed a little help. I talked to him a lot. It is clear that if in the future Milan will not be at Leao level or Leao will not be at Milan level, things will change. But this moment, the growth is exponential for the club and for him. Guys, Maldini, man, he's really pushing this new ownership. Like he
Yeah.
says, if in the future Milan will not be at layout level. Milan will not be at world class level.
Oh
That's
my
what he's
lord.
saying. That's what he's saying. He's
Yeah,
like, if
I'm
it's
telling
nothing,
you, this is some serious shit, guys. This is real. This is not a joke. He's pulling punches. No, he's not. But he's pushing punches. He's
I mean,
punching right now.
he has the pedigree to do so. I mean, he's won how many Champions Leagues?
Yeah,
Like, if there's
he
a
won
player that
everything.
can say something like this, it's gonna be Maldini.
guys, I'm not a Prem fanboy. Listen, when I say stuff about like other leagues and the top clubs, I love the Serie A. I think it's honestly it's up there with the best leagues. And now you guys can think I'm like crazy for that, but when Maldini watches European football, he looks at the teams we played in the Champions League. We are not at that level of these giant clubs. We're not. And but we're not far away because we're on a very good path. We have to keep increasing our level. And Maldini is being really realistic and he's pushing this, which I love. I love this. Even though
Yeah,
it's
his
even though
demands
it's
aren't
risky.
unrealistic.
Yeah, I don't think they are. I
I
don't
said
think
that
it's
he's
the
being
most.
very realistic. I didn't say unrealistic.
Look, if you buy in Italy and France, you're going to do fine. I think buying in England is going to be difficult, and buying in Spain is going to be difficult because there the prices are a little bit inflated. But you can still find a lot of, and of course the Scandinavian countries, like Dick Kettler and whatever. But you can find champions that are not going to cost you like. You don't need to spend 80 billion on Maguire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You can spend 40 million on
That's just
Zaniolo.
that's just terrible management. Like,
but
what the hell? Who's in
do you
charge of
guys
Man United?
do
Young
you guys see
Hongli?
that Man United, the fans or whatnot, are telling Ten Hag to follow the Milan model?
Yeah, of course, dude.
I think
Uh,
since Tomori moved
Guys,
to Milan, there's been more EPL like fan focus
right.
just
Yeah,
because Tomori's here and they're realizing what we're doing.
and not
guys,
only sorry, one more thing. Not only Tomori, even Smallings and Abraham,
Yeah.
that are being followed very closely by the English national team and the English media.
yeah, guys. I mean, we've done something amazing this year. Like, we have with the odds stacked against us, we accomplished. We overachieved and put our names on the map to an extent. Not in Europe yet, but we're up there, guys. It's
But
crazy.
nothing. And this is the thing. Like this is you have to suffer. You have to suffer to win with this Milan. And right now we're in a moment where we gotta suffer because we might lose Maldini. We might not lose Maldini. I don't think we are. I think it's gonna go the right way. But it's just there's an obstacle in front of us, and we just got to get around it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. Hopefully, we don't. Our club doesn't get destroyed after winning the Scudetto, but I think that overall we should be okay. This Redbird deal looks like it's gonna happen, and I mean, then again, though, you never know. But
But listen. If you're telling me, hey, I want to build a brand like New York Yankees, man, you're talking about the biggest sporting brand in the world, probably.
oh yeah, no, Roy, I'm confident, and
If we can
honestly,
do that,
yeah,
shit.
yeah, dude, I'm saying I've been saying this. Redbird is in my opinion, Redbird is better than Elliot personally. And so all I'm saying is, if this deal can go through, then I think we're in good shape. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Nathan, what do you think about Redbird coming in? What are your What are your feelings?
Mm, I mean, I understand they're, not new to like the sporting world, but if them coming in means we're going to be even more frugal than with Elliot, that's a problem for me. Like I'm glad Maldini is steady setting the standard now
Yeah.
instead of like waiting.
But he's setting his standard.
Yeah, but the thing is, he since he won the league, he can do this.
Yeah, no, of
Yeah, and
course,
he's
I
being
agree with that.
honest. He's saying like he doesn't. He's saying personally, he's like, I don't want to put up with this new with this BS of us acting like being owned like we're some mid-table or Europa League club when
Yeah,
we're a big club. So we deserve to have the possibilities of improving our squad to that level. And honestly, like I know he doesn't have the final say, but if Redbird buys us and if they back Maldini and keep him in, which I think they will, then that's really good for us because that means that they're not too like they don't really like disagree with his perspective too much.
Okay, but let's talk about the scenario, the worst case scenario. So, so let's say, because Redbird is going to show Maldini their strategy. They're going to say, look, this is what we want to achieve. Eventually, Redbird has to talk with Maldini. Eventually, that meeting is going to happen. And that day, we're going to find out whether or not their strategy is in symphony with Maldini's. And if it's not, Maldini won't continue because we know Maldini is like that. He's always been like this. He's always been like
Yeah.
this his whole career. So he's not gonna be at Milan. So if he's not at Milan, what happens? Do we still be optimistic? Do we protest? Do we boycott the club? What happens?
Well, actually, before I'm just gonna mention this. The worst case scenario would be Elliot stays and we lose Maldini as well. That would be the worst case scenario. But that's just like that would be crazy. But anyways, in this scenario, I think honestly it would be very hard to be optimistic because an iconic figure that's just won you the league is gone, and you have no idea what Redbird is gonna do, basically. So we'd have to see what Redbird does, but I'm gonna be honest, I'd be super like concerned with that situation.
Yeah,
Like,
because Maldini with the little bit that he has had to work with, really, he, his biggest asset is himself and the Milan brand. No other club really can say that they can pull off these deals the way that we have.
yeah.
What happens if he doesn't stay, guys? What goes through your minds?
I don't know.
Well, we
Do
just
you?
gotta hope for the best.
No. But let's say because I'm telling you, this is very possible. Like I'm telling you, this is very possible.
Oh, I remember when Maldini was turning down Berlusconi to
Yeah,
come back. I remember.
right. Guys, Maldini does not fuck around. He's not here. He's not gonna waste time. If it's not like how he wants it, he's earned it. In his mind, he's earned it. He's like, dude, I know what I can do, but now I want to do it my way.
By the way, guys, Monza. Speaking of Berlusconi, I think they're in a good position to make the Serie A.
Yeah,
Like,
they have the advantage right now.
Yeah, they won 2-1. Now there's the away game left.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I just saw this statistic, and it's how much It's kind of random. How much money, like prize money in the Premier League was made by each club, and in 20th place relegation, Norwich made 100.3 million pounds, which is I think more than the winners of the Scudetto make.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
How much?
100.3 million pounds.
Bruh, that is messed up. Norwich?
Yes.
Come on, man. What the fuck?
That's what I read. Yeah. Crazy.
That's crazy. Here we have a comment. The problem is not Redbird backing Maldini. They need to back him because he's the guarantee for Milan fans. That is true. Milan fans are very tied to Maldini because, of course, there wasn't an ownership there. It was always Maldini. If he doesn't stay, people will boycott them. I think that is going to happen. I think if Maldini doesn't stay, the Curva Sud is going to boycott this team. They're not going to go to the stadium. That stadium is going to be empty all season. Like, guys, I'm telling you, this shit is serious. The problem is whether Maldini is going to back them. The problem is whether Maldini is going to decide is. I think these guys are just crazy not to give Maldini what he wants. And Maldini is not going to ask for, hey, I want 100 million so I can buy João Pedro. You know, like he's not gonna. She's not gonna.
Right. and you know what? This also tells me that this entire time, Maldini has not been happy with the the whole transfers and money situations that's been afforded to him.
He said that he expected to have more,
Yeah.
and And so they had to really, really work their ass off to make these deals happen. That makes his work even more impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norwich will again get promoted next season and make money again. There has been a problem in England as the clubs who get promoted again because they get a lot of money. Yeah, good point. And here another comment. 20th place makes more than Scudetto winners, and Prem fans hate the idea of a Super League when they are already in one. Boom. Big comment.
20th place makes more. Yeah, that's crazy. I know. Shaw says it's more plausible that Triple M leave than stay. So Shaw is saying that there's more possibility that they leave. That's the sad feeling I got from the interview. If Redbird begin an Atalanta-type project and lose our players, we'll have to boycott them out. Guys, second time I hear this word boycott.
Hey, this is true.
Guys, we're being super negative though. Like we have no Redbird
No,
is
we're being super realistic.
we're
you
being
guys
very
you guys are
realistic.
talking about a possibility, but you guys are assuming that Redbird is just like some like I don't know, freaking what's a good
I
team to compare to?
Until you see it, you can't judge it, my man. You gotta see because
Yeah,
we
but
don't know. We don't know. I'm okay. Look, I'm thinking that these guys are smart, and as I said earlier, if they want to build a brand that is close to the Yankees or even the same as the Yankees, you have to create a winning team. You have the maestro right there, Maldini. There you go. That's how you're going to create a winning team. So I think they're going to come to an agreement. Yeah.
yeah, and this comment says, guys, renewals will not happen until the sale of the club. I know this, and this is expected. But the problem is that Maldini said, why haven't they at least spoken to him yet? About the
Yeah.
situation, met with him. They didn't meet with him to talk about this. And so that's kind of the concern. Yeah, of course, it makes complete sense that they're not going to renew because they want to give the opportunity for Redbird to decide
Yeah,
themselves.
of course.
And that's a good point, Antonio, because if you think about a player who can be considered AC Milan, it's Maldini. So I feel like he should be like right there in everything.
Yeah, but obviously our owners don't care about all this legacy. They care more about
No, but
money. I'm
Redbird
sorry.
should.
Yeah, exactly.
Redbird
I'm
should have
I'm
already
hope.
taken the initiative to talk to him.
I think that would have been the correct thing to do. I agree with that. I think that would have been the correct thing to do because it's I don't know, maybe it's just different approach in human relations. I don't know what do you think?
Elliot is not a human company. They're
No,
they're
Redbird.
literally like they're just a bunch of robots.
Redbird too, Redbird and Elliot, both of them.
What Redbird is part of is what they have stakes in Liverpool, right?
Yeah, on the one hand, you have the InvestCorp CEO tweeting out like compliments to Milan and tweeting out like updates about InvestCorp. On the other hand, you have like these guys hiding behind curtains, like puppet
Yeah,
masters.
yeah.
They're not even talking to the management.
Yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
corporate. It's so corporate, dude. It's just corporate America. It's corporate. Corporate America has owns Milan, guys.
And
Ah,
these guys haven't worked with anyone that's as big as Maldini.
No,
I
no,
don't
not
think
at
they
all.
realize just how big he actually is. Obviously, they know his name, but
yeah.
they have ties with Liverpool, but Liverpool doesn't have a single player that's
Well,
compared to
Gerard
Maldini.
is close, but yeah, it's
I mean,
still not.
Gerard is close in consideration with English football, but in terms of like the best to ever play the game in his position, he's not even close.
Yeah,
Oh.
no. That is true. When you're
That's
talking
true.
about Maldini, you're talking about the
Well, yeah,
upper
Maldini,
echelon,
of course.
upper echelon of the
I think
talent.
Gerard is up there though. It can be in that. I mean, there's been so many good
Not in
midfielders.
the
It's
same
hard.
category as
Nah, not in
Gerrard.
the same category. Like if you say Gerard, I could go with Xavi, Pirlo, Iniesta, Zidane, Kaká. Like you
Yeah,
see how I'm saying? You go with
Well,
Maldini, and then
yeah.
what do you
It's
say?
different, of course, because Maldini is the best defender of all
Exactly.
time.
That's why I
Yeah.
said that these guys have never came up to an actual legend of the game, not a team legend, a legend of the game.
Well, I think
right.
Gerard is a legend, but he's just not as definitively a legend as Maldini. He's not like the best midfielder. Like Maldini is the best defender. That's just my own opinion. But
Right. I mean, look, I'm hoping they do, Nathan. I'm hoping that these guys have a sense of what terrain is when it comes to the Milan universe. Obviously, all the fans are behind Maldini. Maldini has literally 99.9% of the fans in the palm of his hands. So it's going to be a political battle that is about to happen. It's very interesting, guys. Very
Yeah, because
interesting.
these guys are coming in, and I get the feeling they want to try and do things their way.
I'm kind of getting that sense too. Now, what is their way? That's the question. What is their way?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, did you see the new like the leaked jersey designs, the kits?
No.
It looks like our home, like the red and black jersey, is gonna have some Italian flair. Well, not only the Scudetto, but also, I mean, yeah, the shield, but also the like Italian flag on the hand on the arms.
Almost as if it was perfectly written by the stars. Just perfect timing. Guys, everything is perfect right now for me.
It looks pretty decent, I would say. I like the white jersey as well. The leaked.
What's up, Red John?
Hi guys, how you doing?
Good, good, good.
Oh
How's it
no,
going?
pessimism.
Great.
What are we talking about? I'm the most
All I know is
optimistic
that
here.
this situation we're in right now can go either
Mhm.
pretty well or terribly. So, and if Red John is here, we're gonna go talk about how terrible it can go.
No, man, I'm super optimistic about it. I don't care. Why would I think?
No,
Why would I be
but
pessimistic about it?
but John has been saying the same thing that we have been saying so far. Outside of him and Roy just trolling in the group chat,
And
this
I've
is
been saying it
pretty
for
agreeable.
months. Yeah, like I just make sense overall. You know what I'm saying? I have this curse, guys. I have this curse. I cannot do anything wrong.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
apparently
The
everyone on this
narcissism.
stream
Narcissism.
has the same
Right,
curse, this super
right,
rare curse
right.
that everyone here thinks that they have. Guys, I
Right.
saw this
And
interesting
I don't have
Mancini
that
comment.
curse, guys. I'm humble. I'm humble.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
no,
Roy,
right. You're
you still
humble.
haven't apologized to me and John
Please.
yet, Roy.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no. I don't. No, no. Guys,
hey
listen,
Roy,
listen.
Roy. So you
Keep it real.
concede?
Keep it
So
real.
you concede?
Can see what? No. No, guys, listen. For me, this is serious. I have a question though. I don't know if Red John is serious or not. You saying you're optimistic?
I'm super serious about it. Of
Okay.
course, I'm optimistic
Why?
about it.
Why are you optimistic? Let's hear that.
Because in my opinion, it's a super easy like way of doing things. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
A easy way
So
of doing.
so
What? What is the easy way of doing things?
like I think this basically playing chess with the fact that he is aware that a new ownership is going to come in place. He's aware of the power and the branding and how important he is to fans and to the project. And he's making demands right now. And it's going to be very hard for a new ownership to come. And the first rule of business is to be number one public enemy. They're not going to do that.
I agree with that, and that's why ultimately I have a feeling this will go the right way. I mean, I just don't see it going the wrong way. But we're discussing the possibility if it does, um, because. But I don't think it will because, guys, as we said, Maldini's not gonna ask 200 million to buy a fucking player that is worth 20 million. Maldini is just going to ask for what he wants. If he needs 40 million, that's 40 million to buy a player that is going to be worth 70 million, 80 million.
And
He's
look at
not
the
going to
players that
ask.
we're going for. The players
Yeah,
we're
And
going for are
he
all
has earned
realistic
the right to do
numbers.
that. Why wouldn't he?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, no, I agree with Red John. When I first read this, I was more optimistic than pessimistic for sure. And I was like, well, if we get Redbird, we keep Maldini, which is like, it's not like unlikely. Everything is gonna probably go very well for us.
Well, I
But the thing
think.
is, you guys got to look at it like this. If you were the owners of a new business, of a business, like you just bought out a business, and the first thing you hear is one of the employees tell you how the job's going to go,
The
you're going to
top
feel some
employee,
type of
the
way.
top employee.
Yeah, the top
No,
employee, you're going to feel some type of way. Uh,
yeah,
Most people, I'm not saying that all the time, but ego really gets in the way of a lot of things in the world, and people are going to feel some type of way about it.
Why do you guys think he's deciding to negotiate through the media? Like, don't you think that's a like? Is he also trying to be transparent with the fans?
They
Like, is
asked
that
No,
him the
no.
questions, though. He gave answers on the
okay? But
spot.
but he can answer any way he wants,
Like he
of
can
course,
deflect.
of
Yeah, that's
course.
Yeah,
true, but it looks like he's finally. I think honestly, okay. I know that we don't. We have first of all, this is one of the situations where no one knows what his motives are. Personally, I really want to believe that he. Wait, who's that? The sound
oh,
coming in.
sorry,
Oh, that's fine.
train
No,
station.
just yeah, but no. Personally, I really want to believe that he's finally saying, now let's be a bit more ambitious and let's try to go back and get some Champions League glory. That he knows that that's what Milan fans would want in the future, to be a really big club again. So that's what I hope he's motivated by. But then you could say, no, he's doing some under the table card tricks to try to shape up the ownership situation, secure his management position, things like that. So
Yeah,
it's complicated.
and no, also to the point that Red John was talking about earlier, guys. Like, it is 100% serious. The cards that Maldini has, these are the cards, and this comment says it because he knows that if he leaves, the stadiums are going to be empty, guys. We're talking about a revolution. We're talking about a little civil war here. Only colored by banners with phrases against Jerry Cardinali. Protests in front of Casa Milan. It's going to be like that, guys. The Curva Sud is not going to fuck around. The whole city is going to go crazy. Like, Maldini has all the cards in his hands.
After the Scudetto, especially, yeah, it's over.
And his demands aren't even crazy. Just, we're a big team. Just spend some money like an actual team.
Are you guys? Do you guys agree with the strategy of negotiating through the media? Essentially, that's what I wanted to ask.
Um, I well, if it's for like honestly, I don't really want to believe that that's entirely the purpose of this. But let's say it is. It's not the best strategy, but if Elliot isn't going to even try to speak with you, then sure. At this point, sure, because it's the best thing for the club to show that you're trying to be ambitious. What do you think, Roy? I mean, I don't know. At the same time, it is risky for sure because it could kind of jeopardize our relationship between the management and the owners. But I feel like Maldini isn't. He's not gonna say he knows the situation better than what we know. So I don't think he would just risk like gamble everything on this comment unless he was like pretty sure that the new owners are coming in.
Well, I think this is still a shot at both guys. Honestly, the new owners and Elliot. It's literally
It's
telling
not.
them,
It
look,
can't be
man.
about the new owners. Well, I'm sorry.
No,
Sorry for
it's
interrupting, but
no,
here I'll
yeah. Go
let you.
ahead, go ahead.
I'll just to say my thought. I'm not. Yeah. So I think I agree that it can be a message to the new owners, but he's not like he obviously isn't like saying anything against them yet because they haven't even nothing's happened. He doesn't even know how they're probably going to invest. So that's just my own thoughts.
Yeah, it's not. It's it's essentially just telling them like his expectations. Like it's a subtle threat.
Yeah. I'm sure. Honestly, I have more faith in them than a lot of people do. Roy, you're muted, by the way.
Hey, look, what I the thing is that the way Maldini is doing this, he is putting an army behind him. He's literally on. Look, Maldini has a contract. After the contract expires, he's not longer an employee, an employer of the or employee of the fucking company of Milan. So yeah, he's saying, look, if you want me to continue, this is what I want to do. But he did it in such a way that he put the whole fans behind him. So now the pressure is immense. Literally, the whole fucking Milan universe is looking at Redbird and saying, "You better not mess this up." Guys, this is crazy. This is crazy. I can't believe how fucking crazy this shit is.
I like it. I really like it, honestly.
You
I like
you
it.
like that?
Hell yeah, dude.
We've
Yeah,
been
Roy,
waiting to hear this.
Roy, we're Americans, Roy. We're about that thug life.
It's a risky strategy. I just find it's a risky strategy. I think. Yeah.
Guys,
It is what it is.
yeah. Guys, should we talk about the Champions League tomorrow? Are we doing a watch along for that?
I'm not available tomorrow.
Okay. Interesting game. I was Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was in a lot of different streams, and there's so many super confident fans that are saying like Liverpool easily is gonna win this game.
Easily? Nah, these guys are crazy. If they think they're easily gonna win it, then they're definitely gonna lose it. No doubt about it. If the fans are going into this thinking that they're gonna easily win against Real Madrid, the king of Europe, Real Madrid, 14-13, you're definitely gonna lose.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I hope Real wins it personally.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going a little bit more for Real Madrid too. Just
Hala
simply because,
Madrid.
but not because I have any sympathy for Real Madrid. The truth is, I don't give a two flying F's about Real Madrid. That's it. The only reason is because Ancelotti is there. If Ancelotti was at Liverpool, I'd be going for Liverpool. So, that's it.
I mean, I just don't want Liverpool to tie us with 7 Champions Leagues. We could have had 8 if we didn't lose that stupid Istanbul one.
Yeah, even in 2004, we could have won that one.
I mean, that one I'm just pointing out because it's like 3-0. Come on.
Look, we had the squad to win 2003, 2004, 2005, 6, 7. We could have won literally all of them.
Yeah. It's whatever. I just don't want Liverpool to tie us.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to some comments here. No one is fucking saying that Maldini doesn't even try to buy players and doesn't care about Milan after this interview.
Yeah.
Who's he talking about there? We could open a cycle with 3 big signings. I'm not going to stay if there isn't a winning project. Yeah, guys, like he's saying that. That's right. This is serious. This is serious. What's got me thinking is that he is he's with Gazidis nearly every day. So why aren't they discussing that? You're literally with the man every day in the same offices. You have to talk to him because they're all the ideas have to go through the CEO.
Stay on this topic because I'm going home in 2 minutes, and I'm gonna rant about this shit. It's a little bit cringe to talk while walking on the street. That's why I haven't been talking.
Don't be embarrassed, right, John, to talk in
It's,
front of everybody.
come on, it's super cringe. I'm not gonna do that. It's super cringe.
It's what is that? What do you call that? Stage fright. You haven't stage
Yeah. Sure. It's still cringe. It's still cringe. So
All right, okay. We'll stay on the
What's
topic.
cringe? The ownership?
stay on the topic. No, it's cringe. Me walking around in Germany speaking English.
Oh.
It's super cringe.
Why?
No, because everyone understands you, man. Everyone speaks English here. And it's me walking around with my headphones on, speaking about AC Milan. Are you fucking kidding me?
Come on, dude. That's sick, dude. That's sick. That's cool.
Yeah.
You look like a superhero if you do that.
Yeah. Go on, just
Red
stay
John,
on the topic.
are you an introvert,
Alright.
Red John?
Of course I'm an introvert, bro. Isn't it obvious? I'm fucking calling every night here.
You look like you're playing Pokemon Go or something.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, man, I was at my girlfriend's house, but she's gonna clean later on, and I just want to sleep the entire day, so I'm going at my house.
This is hilarious. All right, okay. We could open a cycle with 3 big signs. I'm not going to stay if there isn't a winning team. The topic about Gazidis. I think that's what we're discussing, Gazidis. So you're with the man every fucking day, in the same office, in the same building. Why hasn't Gazidis even ever approached Maldini? What do you guys think? Obviously, Maldini
Yeah.
is there waiting. It's like, yo, are you guys? Well, you guys didn't even tell me that there's going to be a change of ownership. You know, and
Yeah.
he's saying, aren't you going to? After I won you the damn scudetto, you should be coming to me right away and telling me and talking to me. This is what he's saying. I don't know. Do you think that Gazidis is being a little bit shifty here?
Honestly, it's this whole club right now. Like the way that it's amazing how we pulled off our successes so far. Because it just feels like everything is so disconnected, and there's no clarity as to how things are working behind the scenes. So I couldn't really tell you exactly how it works.
Oh, guys, look at this. This is a good idea here. Maybe this is true. Gazidis may have been instructed not to tell him everything about the new project because Elliot knows that Maldini wouldn't accept it, and it could create instabilities like it's happening now. That is definitely
Mm.
a very good possibility. That
And it
Elliot
makes sense
knows.
because look how long it's taken for the Maldini's renewal, anyways.
Guys, by the way, this is kind of another random point, but Mourinho, man, he's really trying to recruit all these players. Like he's like to Roma. Like he's trying to get Bremer to go to Roma. He's trying to get what's it called? A bunch of these other players. Like I see all the time, like all this news. Uh, wait, who's that? Oh, Dybala's another one I saw.
Yeah, Dybala to Roma, guys. I don't. Do you believe that can happen?
Dude, Mourinho is just. I mean, Roma. What do you think about Roma? I'm just curious after the Conference League win.
No, look. I think that Roma did an incredible job in the Conference League. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. Hands down, definitely made the Italian flag, gave the Italian flag a little bit of pride because
Yeah.
with all the shit that has been going on for many years, Italian football has been terrible. So Roma definitely showing a little bit of love for the colors, and Mourinho doing an excellent job with the team. I think he can build the Champions League team in 2 or maybe 2 more years. He can be competing in the Champions League.
Well,
Serious
I
contender.
will say this: I wasn't as I'm very happy they won the conference league because, like you said, it's important for relevancy. They finished sixth in the league, right behind Lazio, um, and I think that in the league they were pretty underwhelming because I think that their goal should have been at least fifth place. They were very close, but they had some pretty poor performances at times, and the competition of the conference league is pretty low. I mean, Leicester City were a main like another team that were pretty that maybe were favorites to win at times, but they had a pretty terrible season. Like they underperformed. I think they finished in like 10th place in the Premier
Mm,
League or like a super mid-table team out of Europe.
yeah.
Like they were pretty terrible this year. Roma beat them, well done.
Well,
But a lot of
yeah,
the competition, I mean, I know it's still European, competition. It's important, but I mean, I don't think that they're like in the Europa League next year. I don't see them going too far. Like I don't,
Roma.
yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know
they'll
about
make
that,
out of the
man.
group stage, but I don't think they're gonna like go much too
I
far.
don't think, so. I think they can go far.
I don't think they can win realistically.
I don't know. We got to see. We got to see. Mourinho's not mess. Mourinho's another one, guys, that does not mess around. Like Mourinho's one that wins titles everywhere he goes. He knows how to build a winning team. Watch out for Roma. Roma in a few years is going to be a piece of shit team to play against.
Okay, that's fair, but this year though, I mean, they were.
And
I weren't too scared.
winning in Europe is not about the talent. It's about the mentality. Because
Yeah.
Roma with Fonseca
I
we would
agree.
have lost a 5-0 against Leicester.
Yeah,
Or Feyenoord that game. Oh my God.
yeah.
So let's watch out for Roma.
Also, another Italian team, rivals Inter. Perisic leaving on a free to
Wow,
Tottenham.
dude.
Conte comes in clutch and takes away probably their best offensive player this year.
Thank you, Conte. Thank you.
Perisic is amazing this year.
Yeah, they already replaced him with And they replaced him with a player that is exactly what that role requires, which is Gosens. We're not talking about any player. We're talking about the German national team player.
Oh yeah.
But but Perisic going to Tottenham is a big is big for Tottenham.
Conte is another one building a dynasty right now over there. I mean, Tottenham have some really good players.
Yes, actually, they might be taking Bastoni as well. Bastoni is linked to.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I wonder
I don't
if
think that's
how
gonna
Inter's gonna if they're gonna make some big investments this summer, but
happen. Inter.
yeah,
Well, they can't still really, right?
yeah, they're still limited.
I don't know because Inter always seems to be a club that finds a way to find funds, like Juve. So they're still going to be competitive no matter what.
The best was seeing like Zhang's face like in the Inter Stadium while Milan was winning. That was so nice. And Marotta too. So
Hmm.
annoying.
I'm interested to see how Napoli develops
Yeah,
and the
Spalletti.
Osimhen case, guys. Watch out for the Osimhen case. That case could end up really bad because I mean I'm not reading into it, but the headlines that I'm seeing maybe they're a little bit clickbaitish, but it looks like there's a big issue there with what was it? Some over evaluation of players and illegal ways of buying players, etc.
Oh, I was wondering. That was a big investment for Osimhen.
Yeah.
De Laurentiis, interesting owner.
Um. Yeah. Then Juve, guys, watch out for Juve. Juve's gonna be a piece of shit. You're gonna see Juve fucking.
Yeah, I mean, we should do the predictions for the Serie A like later down the road, like after the transfer market ends.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to.
like yeah, I'm already predicting Juve will be better. I still don't know if they can win right away, but they're expected to have a pretty interesting transfer market. So
I hope that they lose Chiesa and he comes to Milan.
Yes, that'd be awesome. Imagine Chiesa, Zaniolo, and Leao.
Oh my God.
Make it happen.
And in Kunku, put in Kunku, and then those are your top four right there.
Yeah. These are names that
oh,
we should have. Like, it shouldn't even be a discussion.
To be honest with you, um, I wish that because there was a certain point where these players didn't cost anything, and I wish they were, because you could have
They
caught
should
these players not too long ago.
they should have came and talked to me, Roy. I should
well,
have told them about it in Kunku 2 to 3 years ago.
I would say
That's
that
right.
yes, you did call in Kunku. But a lot of us also have called good players and also have called a lot of bad players. So it's kind of like a mix.
No, but I think they could have. I mean,
Like, especially Chiesa. Like, Chiesa
like
was
Chiesa,
always
you
good.
should have got him like right
Yeah, but
away.
guys, I'm sorry, but I don't even think the channel was like, we're like doing like these lives when Chiesa was on like Fiorentina and you know what I like.
Well,
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
but
honestly,
sure
you
only at
can
the end
still.
I
maybe.
literally
Yeah,
the
but you
first
can.
time I ever saw him touch the ball, I was like,
So you
"This
guys are
is
just so you guys are just like claiming that you said this before the channel, right? That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah, yeah.
well, I
I
don't
mean,
know. I'm not even thinking
before.
about
Because I don't remember you guys saying like by the time you guys were like praising Chiesa, it was already too late.
Oh
If I-
no, no, no. I wanted Chiesa for a long, long time.
dude. Like the first time I ever saw him play at Fiorentina, I was like, dude, this guy's gonna be the best. Like this guy's
Especially when we were dealing with Suso, and then you have Chiesa doing what he was doing. It was like, bro, come on.
man. Look, his highlights, guys, are another level, huh? I was watching some highlights today, but then you go back to Kiz's highlights. Like his technique, his turns and his moves and his goals are just fucking crazy.
Roy, if it was up to you, would you have a whole team of Italian players?
For club football, no, no. I would have, um, I would have two groups.
Yeah.
Like we had an Italian group and we had a Brazilian group. Right now, I think we can get a French group and an Italian group, which we kind of have to.
Hey, Roy. Also, I saw this really interesting post from the Gazzetta dello Sport, like a quote from Mancini in his conference that said, well, it's in Italian. I can translate it, but he says we saw more than 50 players, and like I think when he was like looking at like players to call up to the national team, many of them were very good. How is it possible that a lot of them don't play in the Serie A? Like, so I think he's talking about a lot of these young players that play in like the Serie A B that haven't been called like picked up
Well,
by a
it's
Serie A
simple.
club yet.
It's simple. The top Serie A clubs do not play young Italian players. They simply don't do it.
Yeah.
With once in a blue moon is not going to help the
Yeah,
national team.
but it's not even about that. It's also about the fact that you cannot buy 50 young players and keep them there. You
No,
cannot do
no,
that.
no, not. It's not
So,
that, Rajon. It's
so
the
this is why top teams rely on buying the young player that is
well,
already discovered by another team.
yeah, we understand that, but for the sake of the national team, at the top 10 young Italians, even if they don't start, they need to be on the top team so that way they can develop better.
I agree, but disagree at the same time. At the same time, in the sense that they don't have to be there, but in a league where the top teams are powerful and rich enough, they can buy them from there. I don't think they have to be there, but it would be better if they are there. And in order for them to be there, the top teams have to have money.
Yeah,
And
but
top
they
teams in
also need
Serie
to
A right
play
now,
them
tough.
too. I mean,
Yeah, but, but the top teams
we
do.
even had Aubameyang, and we didn't even play him. How
Yeah,
is
Um,
a
because
like?
he
eh,
wasn't good with us. He wasn't. He like sometimes you need to give them time to develop themselves because this is how it works.
Well, we don't
Some
give them
players,
time to develop. That's the problem.
yeah, but sometimes you develop in another country where you feel better, you have more friends, you understand the
Then
gameplay
loan
better.
them. Don't sell them. Loan them. We're
We
not
did
even
that with
well,
loaning
to
them.
be honest, they could
we
have developed Aubameyang at Milan. I mean, they could have. They absolutely could have.
We
Aubameyang
don't.
was
we
a
We
terrible,
don't.
guys
terrible
We
operation.
don't
guys
do it. We
guys
don't do
we
it.
loaned him for 2 years and it didn't work. We loaned him for 2 years. It didn't work. It didn't do well in the club, and he was getting regular minutes for.
Yeah, but
Sometimes you
they
just
should have built it. They should have built him like they're building Maldini, like they're building Kalulu and Tonali, etc. That was a different philosophy back then. It was
Yeah.
he won the African Ballon d'Or. This guy was the African Ballon d'Or. Like that's what we had in our squad, and we squandered that.
Like even now, uh, Nasty is probably one of the better uh, players in our youth team,
though.
and
To be
yet
honest, I don't see anything special about him, but his numbers speak
Rajon, you
speak
don't
for
see
themselves.
anything special in any young player. I'm talking to the people
Nah,
who
I'm
are
nasty. I'm nasty.
understanding development.
Nasty.
With Nasty,
I
you
don't
need
see
at
how
least
this guy when does score those goals. And the best part
well,
is he scored the Ronaldinho one some days
well,
ago after I talked shit about him.
well, Rajon. In order for him to progress, they need to call him up every now and then. This is the point I made about Xerxes when he was at when before Bayern Munich loaned him. Xerxes was getting plenty of game time, and he's garbage. He is not really that good. So I don't understand why in a game that we're already winning, easily winning, that you can't put in Nasty or in a Coppa Italia.
Oh,
Just
you're talking
put
about
him in
right
for the.
now? Right now? No, no, I disagree with that.
No, no,
I
no, no,
disagree.
no, Roy. I'm talking about when we're winning a game 4-0, and there's only 15 minutes left. You can put him in.
I don't know, man. I disagree with that.
We were beating Lazio 4-0 in the first half in the Coppa Italia, and we didn't do anything. Like these are when you
Well,
allow
they
players to
did
get
play
in when
Roback.
there's
They played Roback, right?
yeah, but from what I'm seeing, Roback isn't really that he.
Roy, guys, I have to sign off, but I'm gonna keep following the chat.
All right, later.
See you guys.
Um,
I,
they,
I
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know what it is, but Robot, maybe his progression is just like really really slow. But
I don't
I
know.
don't
To be
really.
honest with you, I don't follow these guys. I have no idea what they're playing, what they look like. I just know Van Nasty is in the headlines a lot. I've seen a few videos of here and there. I don't know. I can't say. The thing
But
is that for me is like these 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds. Like I would stay away from them. Like I would not even give them. I will wait. Like I'll be much
no,
more
right?
patient.
You gotta. You, I'm not saying to start them, Roy. I'm not saying that. But every single big team in the world right now, if they are up 3 or 4 goals, and there's only 15 minutes left in the game, they play those young players.
No, but I think Milan did too in the Coppa Italia. They did.
No, Roy, they do this throughout the year.
They don't do it as much as maybe other teams.
No,
In
we
the
don't do it at all, Roy.
no, they did.
Throughout the
They
year,
did with
we do not
Roback.
do it. That was in the Coppa
Yeah,
Italia,
but in
Roy.
the
I'm
Scudetto, you
talking
should
about
not do it. Like you have Maldini. You got that's the
no,
teenager.
but even Maldini, there are games where the game's done and dusted, and we still didn't put him in.
I think even if you're playing like if you're winning 3-0 and it's the Cagliari game, you know, you have more important players to play for the season. The youngsters,
Yeah,
the time will come. For them, their time will come. But
but
like
that's the difference.
let's say I'm winning 3-0 against Lazio, right? I want to put in Krunic because I want him to get 15 minutes because maybe I might need him from the beginning next game. You know, the youngster, whatever, he plays in the Primavera. That's where he's learning his trade. One day we will need him to be Krunic.
But
Um,
I'm not saying to do this every time, Roy. What? How many games are there in a season?
in the league, I think you can't. You should specifically work for the team, not to
Mm,
grow the Primavera. I don't think so.
yeah, but that's the thing, Roy. All the big teams do this. All of them.
And they're making mistakes.
They don't make mistakes. They still win the league.
Yeah, but these players then
You're not gonna. What
these
do you?
players then get paid 100 million, and then after you pay them 100 million, you notice that they're just normal, regular players.
No, right. I'm telling you, Roy. These guys will develop
I
much
completely
faster.
agree with the way they develop players in Italy. I think it's much better than
It's
other
it's
places.
not much better because we see how long it takes for anything to happen in Italy.
No,
There's reasons
I
why
disagree with that.
in
I
Spain
disagree
the
with that.
young players are always so much better.
But there
In
will
France,
always
they're
be
always so
there
much better.
there will always
Even in,
that will
mm,
always happen. That will
but
always happen.
that's because these other leagues
In Brazil,
take
there
the
will always be
develop.
better. In Argentina, there will always be better. That's never going to
Yeah,
change.
but
That's
Roy,
never
the
going to
difference
change.
is that they take the development far more serious than they do in Italy.
No,
Far more
In
serious.
Italy, they do it in a more conservative way. They try to not burn the
and
players.
and that's why they're not burning the players,
No,
Roy.
but that's why they do it because they don't want to burn the players.
But how do they
Because
know they're going to burn the players if they don't even do
because it
anything?
because you know how many players come out from the Primavera that end up totally becoming players in Serie C. They don't even become professionals. They lose their job. There are many players like that in Serie A. So you have to
Listen,
be careful how you use it.
listen, listen to Carulo's interview when he talks about the moment he came to Milan. And he says, Milan told me, you are not going to play. And he speaks like, for 6 months, I only trained and got angry with myself that I was not getting opportunities to play. And then the opportunity came in Europa League. And I went there, and I think he even played
Yes,
as a CDN in that game, if you remember, against Sparta Prague. So the thing is,
yes,
youngsters, or youngsters in Italy, and I think everywhere, but in Italy especially, managements try to not put them right in because a youngster, if he
but
goes in
you're
one game,
still missing. You're
he does
still
bad
missing one
in
thing.
Italy, you are busted. You will
Yeah,
not
You're
you are
play again.
fucked.
you're
You are
you're
You are
fucked.
still
fucked.
you're
Yeah.
still missing one thing. What did I say? I said the players of other nationalities are given the time of day and not Italians.
No,
So
I
why?
disagree.
So it's not a disagreement because why are we always going outside of Italy for the youngest young players?
Nathan, Kalulu is one in a million. Kalulu is a gem, bro. It does nothing. It has nothing to do with his nationality
We
or
only
the fact
have
that he is
two
not Italian.
Italians. We only have two Italians
Because
starting on the
Italians,
team.
they are too expensive, Nathan. You cannot go and buy an Italian team in Italy without spending
Yeah,
30, 40 million euros.
when you go and wait for them to join a team like Sassuolo, they're gonna be too expensive.
No, listen, I definitely agree that
If Kalulu was playing on Sassuolo, we wouldn't have been able to afford him. Luckily, he's
I
playing in the
agree with that.
French league where their situation for money and stuff is is horrible.
Okay, guys, but let's stay on the conversation about youngsters and playing. Like now that we're talking about the market, I agree that there are many players like Zaniolo, like Maldini probably should have gone for him. No, I don't know Bremer. I don't know what his story is, but there are players that Chiesa is another one, or whatever Vlahovic, or whatever you say the name. For that, I agree. But where I just disagreed is more like the Primavera players. That's where I disagree. I think if you're Primavera is like you gotta you. I mean, the difference is so big between the men and the boys, man. It's like a
I,
world apart.
I I understand that. I completely understand that. But they can still be called up and play in, like, let's say 5 or 6 games out of the year. That 5 or 6 games is not going to stop the
You would have
development
done
of
that this
Krunic.
season. You would,
Yes, yes, I have no
but
problem
you
with that.
need Krunic.
Nathan, but come on, Nathan. This
Roy,
season, Nathan,
Krunic is not gonna downgrade because he doesn't play in 5 of those games.
It doesn't matter. I need Krunic to be the best I can be, and if I can squeeze 5 minutes out of him over here and 15 minutes for, I need Krunic because Krunic
That's
is going to
but
win me the league the
that's
last 2 games of the league.
that's
agree,
fine,
agree.
Roy. I'm not talking about the last 10 games of the season, but throughout the year,
I don't.
you can put
Okay,
one or
whatever.
two Primavera players
Yeah, fine. That's
and
what you would
allow.
do. I wouldn't do that, and I agree with Pioli not doing that.
Well, I understand that, but that's the cultural difference in Italy compared to the other leagues around the world. The other leagues players who are 16, 17, 18 develop far better and are more skillful and athletic than the players in Italy for
No, I
obvious
don't agree with that.
reasons.
I don't agree
I
with
mean,
that.
you can disagree with it, but it
I
shows.
think I think they just get hyped too soon. That's the difference. Because of
Mm,
that, because
at
when they play the World Cups together, I see the Italians that are almost every time better. I mean, sometimes they screw up majorly, like they did this time. But in the tournaments, when I see, okay, Spain, they're always going to outplay you, no matter what. France is always going to be a tough game. But at the end of the day, like when you match these guys up, Italy is always up there. If they're not first, they're second, third, fourth, or fifth, out of many, many, many. So, for me, Sancho is not worth 100 million. Zaniolo is not worth 100 million. Leao should not be worth 100 million. Leao is not selling.
I'm not worried about the price. I'm worried about how they actually play. The few times that we actually allow the young players to play, they always deliver.
Milan, yeah, but because those were, but you know how many there are that want to play. There's many that want to play, but Calabria was the one that was able to go through, right? Calabria, that's one
Exactly,
out of many, 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 many.
Yeah,
exactly.
because they gave him a chance.
No, Nathan, no.
How do
Because
you know if
Calabria was
Nasty comes
better
in?
than Red. That's why
And
Calabria was a
I'm
lot
just
better
using
than Red.
Nasty. I'm just using Nasty because he's been talked about the most. How do you know he doesn't come in and, let's say, out of those 5 games he scores 3 goals? Now imagine what that does for his confidence and his development.
No, that will destroy him.
How will that destroy him?
Italian, look, I'm telling you something.
Then that means they're
Italians,
weak minded.
when Italians get that spotlight so early to these new generations, like they become morons. They literally all become morons.
I don't agree with it, but
I
I
agree.
agree in the sense that right now, especially when the league is so competitive, you cannot afford to give
Is
game time to
is
Primavera players. You
is
cannot
the
afford it.
is the league
Bayern,
competitive in Spain, England, Germany,
Bayern,
France.
Bayern can afford that because Bayern wins the league every year. They can afford that. Real
Bayern
Madrid,
was doing it last year, even when they were in third place.
man, Bayern wins the league
Oh,
with
okay,
nine
that's
players. They win
fine.
the league.
But even Manchester City, Liverpool do it too.
No, man, Manchester
Real
City and
Madrid
Liverpool
does
are
it too. Barcelona
Manchester
does it
City,
too. But
Manchester City
these,
and
bro.
Liverpool give game time to Primavera players only in the Carabao Cup when they play against
Okay, we
even
don't even
they,
do that in the Coppa Italia.
But to be
because,
fair,
They
because,
don't do it at all.
because in Coppa Italia you play against Serie A teams, man. In Carabao Cup and FA Cup you play against third division teams,
Yeah, but
fourth
if
division teams.
this is considered as the Mickey Mouse Cup, then why don't you use it to develop players?
Because
I mean,
it's not that easy to win the Coppa Italia.
no, honestly, if I were to be honest, I would do that. I would literally play only youngsters for the Mickey Mouse Cup, for sure. Like I would only play youngsters. But
But
obviously, these guys have contracts. They need to play their games and they have to do their things. It's more complicated
but
with that.
the problem is that our Primavera would get smashed
Of
in Coppa
course, they would
Italia
get smashed. Of course,
because you are going to go and play against Torino. Torino is going to eat you.
yeah, 100%.
This is the problem. You are not playing against Middlesbrough in the
But
third
this
division
this is what
of the
you guys
English league.
are confusing starting them and playing 15 minutes when the game is dead. When the game is dead, it doesn't matter. It
Nathan,
doesn't
the
matter.
15 minutes is not going to help them. They play a lot of games in the Primavera.
It's going
It's
to
not like
help
the
them.
15.
If you played football before, and if you ever played up 3 or 4 or 5 levels in an age group at any point in time, the difference that it helps you when you go back to your normal age is like night and day.
Yeah, but it
It's literally
demoralizes
night
you.
and day.
I have to completely disagree with this.
No, it's
I have
true.
to vehemently disagree with this.
It's true.
When Nathan, I remember myself, and I wasn't even like in a super competitive team or whatever. But when the coach would let me play with the bigger boys, I would get demoralized, bro, because I would be like, "Holy
That,
shit, I'm one of the good ones in my team, and here no one gives even a fart to me. Not they wouldn't pass me the ball."
but
So it's like,
then that just means you're being weak minded.
no, but this is how uh,
I,
humans work
I don't disagree.
in
I
the
disagree with
sense.
this
No,
too.
no.
Wait, hold on.
It,
No, no, I disagree. I agree with what Red John is saying. True, like what is, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of the coach. Like I'm going through the season. Who gives a fuck about the Primavera? I have my players. I gotta work. My players gotta become a team. I'm not here fucking giving charity to Primavera players. Like
Agree.
if there's a good one that in
Yeah.
training is playing better than the other ones, then I'm like, okay, I'll bring this guy in.
And to add to your point, Roy, I think it works like this. If there's a player in the Primavera which can add value to the team of the coach is going to play him.
Yeah,
If there isn't any, he's not going to do charity, man. He's not there to
right.
make players happy or to grow
Exactly.
players. He's there
Exactly.
to win trophies.
Yo, dude, this shit is war. This is not.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not playing games. But yeah, if there's a youngster that is showing promise, and you need that position, and you are making that decision. Okay, I want to give him a shot. I need him. Let's see if he can do because he's good. Maybe I don't have my second player for that. My player's injured.
But look at the specific case. Even Kalulu, a great fucking player, he only got utilized once Kier, Gabia, and Romagnoli were injured. Only then did he get the chance to prove himself. This is how it works, man. There's a hierarchy, and there's also uh, chances that every player gets if he's good enough. If there was a Primavera player who had more, I don't know, was more promising, the Kalulu would not have played. The Primavera player would have played. This is how it works. It's all based on merit. It's not based on charity.
Yeah, yeah. Look, the Primavera is there to build them. And then some of them are going to go somewhere else. Some of them are going to graduate, and Milan is going to do a summer with them. They're going to test them. They're going to figure out whether to send them out on loan or to keep them.
Some of them are not even going to get pro contracts
Yeah,
in
some of
the
them
end.
are not even going to become football. Most of them are
Yeah,
not going to become
yeah,
football players.
exactly. Like, keep in mind that Primavera players is the last stage that decides if you are going to earn money and make a living with football or not. It's not, you are not there to give them charity, man. It's 500 people dying to get that position. Only the best make it. And from the whole team of the Primavera, in the end, 2 players, 3 players, 4 players are going to become pro footballers. The other ones are going to go and work, same as the rest of us.
Can you
Yeah,
guys hear me?
yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, I would not. I, yeah, I wouldn't even think about the youngsters, to be honest with you. If it's a war, why do you think Maldini is in the first team? Well, Maldini is one of the players that they have identified as a potential youngster that is good enough to keep in their hierarchy system. The coach sees the players. Maldini was
And
part of the Primavera, and he was one of the best players in the Primavera, and he graduated.
exactly. And I want to add something about Maldini. uh, Maldini also said it in his own interview. Maldini is there because Maldini was the absolute best player of Primavera when he was in the Primavera, the
Yeah,
absolute star of the team. Okay, first of all, second of all, the interview that now gave some a year ago or something, saying that Maldini is probably the most talented player in the team is true, and also, as Maldini said in the interview as well, players know when one player in the team is not in the same quality as them. They know directly. You could see it even as a kid. As a kid, you could know. You
yeah.
could see that one is not good enough at football, man, and you don't value him. You talk shit about him. At Milan, Maldini is valued because you see how other people react when Maldini is there. They are
So who do
super
y'all think
friendly.
is
They
the
are super
best player of the
accepting.
Primavera right now?
The best player Primavera right now is Nasty, most probably, because of the goal scored.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But but the difference is that Nasty is fighting for relegation in the Primavera. Nasty wouldn't start at Roma Primavera. That's the problem.
Yeah, I
When
have no idea about the landscape of the
That's something
Primavera,
that you
guys.
really don't know because your quality also can go down depending on who you're playing with.
oh yeah, I agree. But the thing is that because the Primavera is doing so bad, it means that the coach totally disregards the whole team. And I think rightfully so, because he has a team that is fighting for the Scudetto with the big boys, and now what? He has to develop some players from the Primavera that is fighting for relegation. I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, but then you can also say that it could be a coaching problem because until we got Pioli, we were heading for relegation, despite the fact our team is far better than that.
And you think youngsters would have changed that?
No, I think the coach is what the coach and the system and the tactics play a huge, huge part in a team's success.
Listen, I think even when you talk about like other countries like Spain and England, I think you're maybe overinflating the numbers because
No,
because
no,
I'm
Roy,
pretty
I'm
sure
not.
it's the same over there. Like there's so many players
Mm,
that want to try and get out and become and graduate. Not
Right,
like
I'm not
one
saying
percent
just.
do
I'm
one
not
percent.
saying. I'm not saying give every single Primavera player a chance. I'm saying the ones who are actually performing the best should be allowed to have at least 5 games, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there throughout the season. That's not gonna. It's only going to serve to help them.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, I understand, but I mean, to be honest, it would be good for them. Of course, it would be good for them. Yeah, I get that. I get it. But I just like the 18-year-olds, the 19-year-olds. I'm not really concerned about them. I don't really.
Yeah, but the problem is, Roy, we have other 18 and 19-year-olds around the world that are given the chance and would run circles around some of our team right now.
Like who?
Let's see. What's the kid's name on Dortmund? I can't remember the young black kid's
Oh yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I
then
don't know his name.
you had
Gungu,
the
Gungu.
yeah.
No,
Then
Goku
you
is
had that.
23, guys.
Oh shit,
No, I can't remember
Mobadala
his
or
name.
something like that.
Yeah,
Mobadala.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
And
he
you
would
had the
be
kid. You
if
had the
he
kid from Roma as well.
Felix.
Felix.
Um, I can't remember the young black kid's name on Roma.
Felix.
Yeah, Felix. It's Felix.
And then you
Um,
have the few players at Barcelona as well.
yeah, I mean there are. You think they would run around like they would run
Yes,
circles?
yes.
I don't know about that. Like are they that like they're better than who? Who do you think they're better than? Do you think that kid in Dortmund is better than Benacer or Tonali or
They don't play the same position,
oh what
but in
position does he
terms
play?
of,
What position does he play?
I think he's a cam. I want to say maybe he's definitely central midfield. He's not CDM though. Uh, as a cam, he's better than anything we have, 100%.
Well,
I
the thing
think
is, I've never seen him play, so I really can't judge, guys.
I
I'm not
think
gonna.
he's a left winger. I
Is he a
think.
left winger?
I think I'm not sure though. I'm not sure.
Every time I see him, I feel like he's like central, but he can probably play anywhere in that three behind the center forward. To be
This
honest.
comment says he's a second striker.
Oh well, then basically he can play as a cam, essentially.
Look,
He's better than anything we have.
I know that in the Bubble Vieri TV show they spoke about him and they're speaking very well about him and that he's doing great things. So it looks like this is one of these top players that is starting
Right,
very early.
and that's what I'm saying. This isn't like Dortmund's like just not bringing every single young one, but I'm just saying the best ones
Yeah.
should be allowed to have to
Mm,
build their way up,
but this
just to
is the
build it.
issue, Nathan. This kid that you're talking about, Mukoko,
Scored
he is
60 goals.
he's
He scored 60 goals in the
what?
Primavera of Dortmund. He
Okay.
scored like something
Yeah, that's
Like
crazy.
fine,
you're
but
talking about a
and
player that
Cutrone
is
scored a shit ton of goals in the
no, but
Primavera too.
you're talking a player that is 16 or 17 that
Yeah,
is already at the level of the 25 years old
Yes, and how did
exactly.
he get there, Roy?
because he's a freak of nature. That's why.
Yeah,
Roy, because he was allowed to
How,
train and play with older
but
players.
you think the
no,
other players don't
Nathan.
do that,
I don't
No, but
Nathan?
think they are allowed to.
but
Yes, Nathan.
I really
guys,
don't think they
No.
are.
Hold on, guys. Let me just say something about football, yeah, and then I'll be quiet. Red John, go. Um, when you have your players injured, for example, who's replacing them in training? It's Primavera players. When Milan
Yeah, but
had
it shouldn't
when
be
Milan
just when
had
there's injuries.
when Milan had when, bruh, they're not one. Mamma mia, ragazzi. These guys are not thinking about the Primavera. They're thinking about winning the Scudetto. These guys are paying. They're paying Krunic 3 million. They have to focus on Krunic, not the kid that has a hundred whatever $1,000 contract that plays in the Primavera. That is failing at the Primavera.
Yeah, but
no
again,
Primavera
that can
player
also
gets
the
100,000.
Primavera has had
Primavera
horrible
players get
coaches,
Primavera players are without a contract most of the time, or
and
super low contract,
Yeah.
500 euros
these
a month.
these players these players have had horrible coaches as well.
A,
And
A Milano? A
most
Milano?
teams around the world also play the same system as their
Yeah, like
senior team.
our Primavera had a really bad coach. I don't really watch a lot of Primavera games, but people that do always complain about the coach. Now the coach is like sacked. They have, I think Abate is going to become the new coach of the Primavera, but let's see.
Interesting.
The thing is though that the guy from Dortmund with 16 years old at the Primavera of Dortmund scored 60 goals, man, or 50 goals, something crazy.
Yeah,
This is
and
how he got.
Colombo Colombo and Cutrone also had really good goal scoring stats with the Primavera too.
Not 60, man. This guy
Yeah,
scored
but
60.
yes, I
Nathan.
understand that. I understand that, but even if it's 40 or 50, that's still good numbers,
Well, the
John. Like
thing
those
with
those
it,
are still good numbers.
but okay, but the thing about Cutrone is like we're talking about a specific something that we know what happened. Cutrone did graduate into the first team, but Gattuso made it clear that Cutrone just could not handle not playing, and it was becoming a problem for the locker room. So he was
But
immature. He
and
was
but Roy, he was our best goal scorer.
at that time.
We had
Yeah,
Higuain,
but
we
still,
had
my man, if
we
you're in a
had
team,
No, no, no. In the season with Higuain, he scored like 6 goals, man. He scored not that much. Not that
but
many.
it doesn't
yeah, but
matter.
he's
If
he's
you're in a
coming.
team, you can't disrupt the locker room. Like what are you like? That's the worst thing. Like you're making it about yourself. It's about the team. It's not about you.
Well, then you can say the same thing about Maldini.
Maldini. What about Maldini?
He with
Which Maldini?
the Maldini Senior.
What about him?
He's disrupting the club right now with the demands he's making.
What? What kind of deflection was this, dude?
All I'm saying
What?
is
Wait, wait, wait.
all I'm saying
Wait, wait.
all I'm saying is if
I'm talking about
Cutrone.
locker room, like the players in the
Okay,
locker
but
room
this
that interact with each other. Like these guys are the players that train with each other. If you're doing that, Cutrone, you're jeopardizing your stay at Milan. He should have been smarter with Cutrone. And
so
Locatelli did the same mistake.
Even though Cutrone was scoring goals, they still brought in two other forwards who were
Okay,
not doing anything.
and I agree. You can criticize
So he so
Gattuso's
he so
choices. Fine.
he so he should have a right to speak his mind.
No, I disagree with
Yeah,
that. A
he should
youngster
have a
like
right to
that in
speak
the
his
fucking
mind.
locker room should fucking clean the floor, my man.
Yeah, but if he's performing better than Silva and Kalinic and all those guys,
It doesn't matter.
he has a right to speak his mind.
It doesn't matter because it really what matters is only what Gattuso was thinking at the time and what he was seeing. And if he made those decisions,
Okay,
there was a
he
reason.
so he was seeing Cutrone score goals while Silva and
But
Kalinic were not.
I'm not. I can't here defend that season because I don't have the numbers because I don't know what season. What are you talking? I'm pretty sure that there was a moment where Cutrone stopped scoring goals. He stopped becoming efficient,
Yes,
and he
but
stopped
Silva
performing.
and Kalinic weren't scoring anything.
Okay, so now you're criticizing Gattuso. But if they say, it doesn't matter because Cutrone should have tried to be more locker room friendly and earn his spot back. Like that's the thing.
He wasn't given a spot in
These
the first
kids
place.
think they're superstars too early, and then they get all in their head and they get arrogant about it. Look at Locatelli. Locatelli's 16 years old and he's demanding to play at Milan. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean,
Tonali, Tonali,
at that point
Tonali
we were
instead said, you can pay me less to play at Milan." And Tonali played the whole season on the bench almost last season, and he didn't do. He was there with the team, no matter what. These are the players that stay. These are the players that stay.
well. I I guess we'll just agree to disagree, but it's just one of those things, I guess.
Yeah, no, I understand. You would have an approach, to build the young players, and you would use the first team to build the young players during the course of the season. I understand that. I understand that would be like what you think would be the best thing for the youngsters. I understand that.
For the best youngsters,
Sure, yeah, for the best
not
youngsters,
all of
the
them.
ones that deserve it. I get it. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, as far as Nasty goes, I have no idea how he plays. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care. Um, and I guess I don't really care, but I think we'll have Origi, which I think will be good, and I think we will have Giroud. Maybe we will have Ibrahimovic. Or maybe we won't have anybody.
So, what do you guys think about the superpower move of Maldini? I know you
Okay,
guys talked about it, but I didn't talk about it. That's why.
Wait, say that one more time, John.
What do you guys think about the
you're
super
wrong,
move of
Lewis.
Maldini?
I just want to say, as on Lewis, actually, my approach is correct. Uh, no, you tell us what you think, because we've said it already.
Hassan Lewis, we are correct. That's okay.
I think there's like a lot of shit going on Maldini about the fact why did he make it public, which it's so frustrating to me because Maldini making it public is the key move that Maldini did. If Maldini would have done this internally, the guys or the ownership, whoever, Elliot or Redbird, would have told him, "Shut the fuck up. No, leave if you want to." The fact that Maldini did it publicly, Maldini is basically declaring war in the sense that you are either with me or against me and all the fans that are going to follow me. Because right now, every fan is with Maldini. Because the common sense after winning a Scudetto is not to lose your best player because you cannot give him the money he deserves, but is to go make the team better, invest in the team, and now after you won a Scudetto, you have to reinforce your dominance on the league. Now is the moment. Not just that, but I am of the idea that next season is going to be very hard. The league is going to be very strong because next season we're going to have Roma, which in my opinion is going to be very strong. Lazio is going to be in the second year with Sarri. We are going to have. I think Inter is not going to be that strong next year because I think they're going to lose Bastoni. They have already lost Perisic. I think Juventus though is going to be super strong. So Maldini knows this. Maldini is now demanding. He's not asking anymore. He's demanding that if you want me to stay here, you have to give me a winning project. I'm not going to be here counting cents left and right, trying to buy unknown players, hoping or betting on unknown players, hoping that they will work. And he's right. He's right. Like he cannot bet on players forever, man. We talked about this on the chat as well. Right now, so far, Maldini has been playing poker. He has won 5 hands in a row. He wants to stop, man. He doesn't want to go all in again. He wants to stop and count the earnings. And now start investing in safer options. This is the way I see it.
I mean, he made it clear that that's what he wants. There's really no two ways about it. It's incredibly transparent what he said.
And and Maldini is the kind of guy that if they say no, he leaves.
Yeah,
So
absolutely,
they have
no problem.
they have they have to no, but we know this for a fact because Maldini is it's not the first time that they have offered this job to Maldini. Even Berlusconi offered this job to
Yeah,
Maldini. He said no. Even the Chinese guy there were rumors
yeah.
about trying to give the job to Maldini.
But
Maldini said no. Maldini is a guy who's with principles, and the reason why I value Maldini so much is exactly this. Maldini for us fans is the guarantee that as long as Maldini stays there, Milan is going to have a winning project and not a sustainability project, not a maintenance project. I don't care about this shit. I care about winning.
and this is before the chess that he played there because he literally said that. He
Yeah,
literally said that I am the guarantee for the fans. He
yeah,
literally said that in his
yeah.
interview.
And he's right, man. He's not lying. From just like, to understand what kind of a person Maldini is, just take a look at the other Italian players talking about Maldini. I haven't I haven't heard one joke about Maldini. Not one. Everyone is super
Oh
respectful.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's because he's the kind of person that demands respect, and he's a man of his word as a whole. Maldini is rich, bro. Maldini is not here trying to live paycheck by paycheck, and he's gonna listen to everything the ownership is gonna say. No, Maldini has a project in his mind, and he wants the means necessary for his idea to become a reality with the club that he has spent all his life there. So,
yeah. Yep, that's
And
what
like
he
was said
said.
earlier, he's earned the pedigree throughout
Yeah,
his
yeah,
years, so he understands that this sustainability movement is obviously not the way to go. He's been a part of teams that the owner gets good players and they win Champions Leagues. Like
But
he's not stupid. He knows this.
it's not even about that because I'm pretty sure Maldini is not going to go tomorrow and ask for Messi and
Well,
Neymar.
right,
No,
right.
he's going to keep the same uh, flow of logic. The only difference is that now he's going to upper the quality of the players that he wants to buy. Instead of buying, I don't know, an unknown player from the second league of uh, Czech Republic, he's going to go and try to buy, I don't know, Darwin Nunez. He's going to go and try to buy like super hot uh, talents of Europe and
We
no
we
more unknown players that no one knows about.
we already have an an example of this whole situation this summer. We wanted, Berardi. We wanted this player, that player for the right wing, and we literally had to settle for our last target, which was Macias, who
Yes.
actually had a good season, but he wasn't our first, second, or third target.
And to be honest, I'm just speculating. But to be honest, because of the way I imagine Maldini to be, Maldini is also tired of the shit that he goes to talk about the player, and he is not even uh, how to say, he does not have the right to raise the price to demand something more because he has to go and check with the ownership every single time for every cent. He's tired of that shit. It doesn't suit his name.
Yeah,
Yeah, he made it clear that in order for him to renew, he wants to have what he needs, and he's not going to take anything less. Guys, he's not even going to take 1% less. Like this is Maldini. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he's going to go to the negotiation table. Like
I
he says, he's like
I
this way or my way or the highway.
I see differently from you here in the sense that I don't think he is demanding three top players. I think he's saying three top players so they can buy one top player, and the rest go as planned. But he
Well,
wants one top player. He
okay,
wants
but
one Nkunku this summer.
you think
He wants,
he wants to get that kind of player, that kind of.
yeah, I think he wants one man.
But
When you read,
he said three top players.
I know, I
But
know, I
the
know,
thing is
I
that
know.
three top players does not mean Nkunku and Darwin Nunes and Lewandowski. It doesn't mean that.
What does it mean?
It can mean Bremer, Renato Sanchez, Zaniolo.
But
And
I honestly don't believe in this because I think because of the interview that that was said yesterday, now everyone has started and will continue speculating about the names of these three players. In my opinion, Maldini wants one very promising and probably expensive player, which could be Nkunku, could be Nunez, could be whoever,
I
right?
did not interpret what he said that way. No, I
yeah.
interpret it.
I see this.
I
I interpreted that he needs a team to go to the Champions League, and
Yeah,
he's not waiting around for anybody.
yeah,
Like he wants his players, and he ain't fucking messing around.
yeah. I think
But think about the team. Like you can't only get one player if you want to go and win the Champions League right away. The way he's
But
saying.
you misunderstood me. I'm not saying he only wants to buy one player. I'm saying he wants one top player and then Botman, Sanchez, the normal guys, or the guys we were gonna get anyways. This is the way I see it. He wants,
Yeah,
as
maybe
an
he wants a
example,
top player. I mean,
uh,
I'm sure he wants to have the option to have the ability to go for one.
yeah,
Like he is also implying that.
yeah.
The thing
And
about Maldini is that I'm saying is like I'm not expecting him to fucking bankrupt the club. Like I'm
uh,
sure he's not
100,
asking.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly. Yeah.
and I think that's the other thing too. Like we've seen what he can do, and we've trusted what he can do with the money that he was given. It's now time to allow him to test what he can do with more money.
Yeah, and it's also time to see how Maldini's first choices are, because we have always gotten his third, fifth, sixth choices.
Um,
But even
well,
Giroud wasn't the first striker choice.
I,
You
I
know, like
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't know. But the thing is, also this thing of Milan never entering auctions and never competing with other teams. This is embarrassing, though. Like, not competing with other teams and never taking part in auctions means you will always settle for the second best alternative.
or or missing out on your first
Or
auction
missing
by
out.
like 3 or 5 million,
Yeah,
things like that.
Um, yeah, 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 yeah. Going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. I'm quite optimistic though myself.
so
Like
am I. So
I
am
don't see this falling apart. Just such a strange way of
I.
doing it.
Also saw an interview of the what's his name, of the owner of Redbird, or the CEO of the Redbird, and in his interview he said that soccer teams or football teams have a very different way of handling ownerships. Football teams in Europe are teams which are basically seen and owned by the fans, and the owners are just seen as a guy who's just passing by. He's going to be there for a period of time and leave, but the team still belongs to the fans. And him saying that means that he will not come by the team and in the second day uh, argue or fire the guy who's the most important person and asset of the team. I don't think he's going to do it.
Now, what? But what do you think? Because this is the issue now that we have to really come to terms with. Jerry Cardinale, obviously
Cardinal.
has his ideas.
Yes.
What if he heard what Maldini said and he's like, yeah, but that's not what I was thinking. You know, what
He will,
happens then?
he, he will have to make a decision because he's a business person. He's going to have to go and calculate what the consequences of saying no to Maldini in this case, after Maldini being super successful and being a key part of Milan's success. He has to calculate the risks of saying no to Maldini,
To
and I
Maldini,
don't think I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to go and try to negotiate something with Maldini, and he's going to tell Maldini, "I'm going to give you. Uh, Tell me how much do you want for the transfer market. Tell me a number, and they're going to go and negotiate the number that Maldini wants for the transfers.
What do y'all think off rip should be our most basic or minimum amount of spending power this summer?
100 million.
100 million.
Yes, a
I
team
th-
that
I
just a team that just won the the league and is in the first spot of the Champions League. You have to reinforce.
well, but I think we have more than 100 million. I
I
think we
hope
have more.
so. I hope so.
I think we're close to 150. If you put all the earnings together, it's close to 150. Plus, the club is not in super debt. So,
No, the,
in theory, you're well beyond. You're well within the rules to just give Maldini what he wants.
exactly. Yeah. I think. Listen, this could also be just a power move of Maldini to, I don't know,
Yeah.
or more or less to set the I don't know, to draw a line on the ground and tell the owner that if you um, by Milan, you have to have a winning project in your mind, meaning that you have to
Yeah.
spend money
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna stay here just to to get along or to survive.
Right, and he is setting with this power move that he did. He is setting himself. He wants to set himself up to be in a position of power in the club. He dude, this is crazy, man. This is like literally warfare that we're witnessing.
No, but he knows, he is aware of his importance in the
Yeah,
club. He's aware of the fact that people love him, fans absolutely love him, and he is also aware that he has a responsibility towards fans. He knows them. He knows things that we argue and talk about every day. in this channel, he knows this stuff. He knows that fans, especially Milan fans, the fans that have followed him throughout his whole career, he knows the fans. He knows that the fans are not there happy about Milan uh, being sustainable. No, he knows that fans want Milan to win. He knows it. And I'm super happy about this power.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. Um, Obviously, they have to say yes to Leao. Dude, what he
Oh,
said. What he said about Leao, dude, that was vicious. That was savage.
that was so. That was uh, super harsh because he
That
says
was fucking savage.
because he says we will see if Milan is going to be on the house level. Fucking hell, bro.
Dude, that
That's sad.
was. That's like a arrow in the heart.
Yeah,
I mean, but think of the players that Maldini has seen over the years.
man. But just think of this, guys. If the owner lets go of Maldini, just think of Teo, Tomori, Leao, all these
Yeah.
players. I'm sure Leao
Yeah,
doesn't sign a contract because all these players have created not only professional but personal relationships with Maldini. Because Maldini is the kind of director that goes and watches every single training, and the players have said that. So basically, saying no to Maldini means you're going to lose players for free now.
You're gonna lose everything, literally.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose everything.
yeah, you're literally gonna start from zero again.
Yeah.
Maldini is that manager that you hired, and now he has the contact numbers of every other investors that invested in your firm, and now you are afraid to fire him because he has too much power. This is Maldini right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's true. It is true. I guess we always have to be. We have to wait with angst. They always have to make us suffer. Whatever they do, Milan.
I
And
mean,
the
this
best
whole
part, and the best part is that it's unlucky for Redbird that it's Maldini they're against, because Maldini is the kind of guy that he had one fight with the Curva suit. He never recovered from that. Maldini is super stubborn, man. He's not gonna go back on his word.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way. No, what he thought it this he thought it out very well. All of
Yeah,
that, he knew exactly what he was going to say. That is not out of the cuff of your head interview. That's a battle strategy right there.
yeah, exactly.
the whole problem with these negotiations though is that it's slowing our Mercato down right now.
Yeah, and this is the reason why,
Mm.
until the new owners come and sign, do not believe any rumors about Milan. We have signed Noah Lang. How have we signed it, man? We saw Maldini yesterday say, "I have no power right now. I don't even know if I'm going to be here next summer." How is he signing new players?
Well, the report was that they came to an agreement with the player on wages, but not with the club.
But
That's very.
who approved those
No, no, no.
wages?
I guess what I'm guessing is that Maldini used within the frames of what he can spend. Came to an agreement with Noah Lang, but obviously that's it.
Uh,
Probably he has agreements with many players. Who knows? But
yeah,
that's it.
because fact of the
Nothing is
matter
gonna
is
happen.
that as long as Elliot is negotiating to sell the club, they are not going to do. They're not going to invest a single cent more than what they have to. So
Yeah,
they're not going to sign new players. They're not going to do any major decision because the major decisions have to be from the new ownership.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to interfere with that.
And I'm suspecting that one of the reasons why he did come out with this crazy interview is because he's in a rush. He can't
Yep,
wait.
Well, I
exactly.
mean, every time we wait, we literally lose our top targets.
Yeah, but also, guys, not just this, but because of the World Cup being in winter, basically, the summer mercato is going to last 1 month, exactly the same time as the winter mercato. So basically, Maldini has no time to fool around. He needs
Yeah.
to start, and he needs to start now. He cannot waste 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yep.
like other teams are getting these pre-arranged deals like
Yep.
Yeah,
over the table already,
Yep.
and we're
Mkhitaryan, Perisic, this guy, that guy,
yeah,
Kamara, Aston Villa. It's happening. These
yeah.
guys are the sharks are feeding. You know.
Of course, because they are not going to have time to do it in July, man. Because in July you have 1 month.
and
Yeah.
then you
Just
have to worry about the about an auction going on for players,
yep.
and then you waste even more time and money.
Yeah, because
And
the problem is that if, let's say, in 2 weeks they sign the papers and the new ownership comes, the new ownership wastes time. Now they have to meet with the management. They have to express what they want. They have to discuss. They have to discuss about the budget. Yada yada yada. This is time
yeah,
waste.
this is time
This
wasting.
this
Yeah.
whole thing is time waste. And Maldini has no time
Yeah,
for this.
and I think Maldini realized this, especially after this year's Champions League, that we need better players and we need to
Yep.
get them quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm sure. Like the next day after the campeonato was over, he was already thinking, we have to get this guy, we have to get that guy, we have to get going, because nobody's waiting. Nobody's waiting.
I mean, the season's already done, and we still haven't gotten this whole takeover business done.
It should have been done already. This is a
Right.
big
Like,
mistake. Big mistake.
yeah.
Very, very poor timing. That is very poor timing.
Yeah. I think InvestCorp probably would have been the better option because at least they were talking about big name players.
No, it's not even about the big name players. The major thing that had me content about uh, InvestCorp is the fact that they wanted our own stadium, and they wanted a stadium with at least 75,000 seats. Man, this is exciting things. We
Yeah.
have heard nothing about Redbird wanting to build a stadium. Not just that, but Redbird don't even have the money. How on earth are they gonna pay
Well,
for a
actually,
stadium?
um, uh, there is news regarding the stadium. The Redbird wants to build the stadium with Inter.
Yeah.
That's
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 yeah. We need to get away from that.
Yeah,
yeah,
We
yeah.
need to get away from that. That just tells me right there that Redbird simply do not have the funds to really take this team anywhere. If you're
yeah,
still relying on Inter, who obviously don't have the funds to even help out with the stadium, that tells me that you don't have the money either.
yeah. But this is also such bullshit, in my opinion. Like, how are they gonna build a stadium with Inter when Inter's ownership is broke as fuck?
That's all I'm saying. Like, how
Uh,
can you
uh,
rely on Inter who don't even have money?
yeah,
Um,
and
now,
also Investcorp being an infrastructure and real estate company, it was fucking perfect for us.
do you think that Maldini having done this power move here has kind of stained this operation a little bit? And is uh, is there a possibility, as here the comment says, that Redbird might walk away, and then we're
I
left
No,
mean,
with
if
Elliot?
if if they walk away, that just tells me they were never serious about making this team a big brand.
yeah.
Like, I understand they want to make the team big like the Yankees, but
I'm, guys, I know nothing about baseball or the Yankees. I've heard
well,
the name.
the Yankees are probably
Yeah.
the most
Now,
richest club in the world,
Yankees is
but
the Real Madrid of baseball. That's what it
so
is.
so now let me ask you a question. Does Yankees buy big names?
Yes, Yankees is
Yes,
the
man.
richest
Of course they
operation
do.
in the world whatever.
Of course, if I can buy big names, because big teams buy big names.
Yeah,
So how are these guys gonna come and make me that like Yankees
exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is
spending
Right.
going to be fine.
peanuts?
You know, they're going to spend what they can't spend, what they should be able to spend, and that's the thing. That's what you need. You don't need a penny more
Yeah,
because it's not like the auctions that we're going in. From 40 it becomes 45.
yeah.
It's not from 40 to 60. Even though with
Okay.
Juventus and Chiesa it was. Juventus brought it to 60. That was a power move by Juventus.
Yeah, but Juventus does the power moves because they have a super strong ownership behind them.
Yeah, but even we could have done the same thing too.
Sixty
What
million
was
for
it?
Chiesa?
Yeah, but
Well,
it's not like it was in one. It's not like it was paid in one lump sum. See, like, we could have done the same thing too.
we could have, but only with the willingness of
Oh,
Elliot.
right,
Elliot would
right.
never be willing to pay 60 million.
Like if
Which is
Berlusconi was around, Chiesa would
Yeah, yeah,
he would have
oh yeah,
definitely won that auction.
100%. Yeah, Berlusconi in his prime, huh? Not
Yeah,
the late Berlusconi, because
yeah.
later on Berlusconi wouldn't spend a cent.
No, right. Not the ending.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, we'll see, guys. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out this week. We'll find out this
I
week.
don't think we're gonna. I don't think this whole takeover thing is gonna be done until like the middle of June.
No, no, man.
I don't. I
That'd be
do
tough.
not see. I don't see this being. Like, yeah, I don't. I don't see this getting
Okay,
done
hold
anytime
on.
soon.
Look, again, we can take all this shit with a grain of salt, but the newspapers are writing that Mr. Cardinale is in Italy
He's
right now.
in Milano. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, 2 weeks. Fuck. If it takes 2 weeks, then we're screwed. We're screwed if it
No,
takes two
I
weeks.
think it's gonna be within the next week. If this deal is gonna be done, it's gonna be within next week. Sign the contract, try to do everything possible, solve the issue with Maldini, which is not an easy issue to be solved, but you have to solve it, and like uh, make let the fans know what the project is gonna be. If Maldini stays, we know that we're gonna have a project, so with the aim being opening a cycle and trying to win trophies and be competitive in Europe. If Maldini is done, that's if Maldini is let go, then we are kind of screwed.
Yeah, it's a strange situation because everybody's screwed.
Yeah,
Like I think I kept this guy here, Mr. Cole. Like he was saying, like if this happens, the stadiums are going to be empty. They're going to. You said it too. These guys are going to
yeah,
become public enemy number one.
yeah.
The fact that they might get away from the deal doesn't necessarily mean that their project wasn't serious in the first place. It's just that they don't know the extent of destruction that Maldini. This is ultimately this is what I think. Because these people do work in sports, and I'm sure they study the different terrains of each country. Now, each country's liver sports, and I think someone here mentioned that too in their conferences. I think that they already know all this shit, and that they are going to give Maldini what he wants. I mean, I don't see any. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I agree.
I still don't like that they haven't talked to him yet.
What did you think about Gazidis not having spoken to him?
Uh, Gazzinis is the CEO. Like Gazzini can only operate within the boundaries that Elliot provide. So I don't think Gazzinis personally has any merit or blame in this matter, in my opinion. Yeah, actually, if a change in ownership is gonna happen, Gazzinis is the first guy who's gonna be replaced. I think Redbird, if they come, they are gonna replace the CEO and get a guy. And to be honest, the CEO in such a business is the easiest guy to replace because the field work and the how to say, like, the uh, harder work is done by the management. Then Gazzinis provides the structure and tries to sign deals and attract more sponsors, yada yada yada. But that's a job which can easily be replaceable. What's hard to replace is a sporting director like Maldini.
Yep. It's going to be a very interesting week or weeks. Um, so you really think Nkunku can come to Milan this summer? You think that can happen? I still don't believe that can happen.
Yeah,
Even with Maldini getting what he wants, I still don't
yeah.
think that can happen.
I don't know if that will happen because the problem is that Nkunku has had such a good season that he could be sold for 100 million as well. So it's like, even with InvestCorp, I think Nkunku would have been hard to get.
Yeah, you would have to use the incentive of being the undisputed starter and really pushing the Milan name to him.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Like basically, putting it into his head that there is no next destination after Milan. Like Milan needs to be seen in the same sense of like when you go to Real Madrid, like that's as high as you can go. That
Yeah.
Milan needs to be held in
Yep.
that same regard,
Yep. Yep.
I agree,
Yep.
100%.
and
And how do you,
that needs to be pushed to
yeah,
all the players.
it has to be indoctrinated. Like, for the first time in so many years, I saw players while celebrating being Milanistas, man. Theo, for example, is the kind of player that after seeing him celebrate like that and being so antagonistic against Inter, I think Theo is indoctrinated that he is in the best path possible. I'm convinced about it.
That is so funny, man. He really is, right? He's
Yeah,
really in the character, like perfect
yeah,
character, right?
like
He's
he,
singing "Chala no
yeah,
Gluva."
man, he's singing Interista Vafanculo chant.
Yeah,
Like, what the hell? Like,
dude,
this guy is
that's crazy.
indoctrinated. So do the same now to Lao. Make Lao, I don't know. Talk to Lao about Gullit. I don't know, man.
Well,
Yeah,
Lao
because
was asked about. Sorry,
Yeah,
Lao was asked about Milan in his interview here about links with Real Madrid, and he said, I feel home at Milan. I guess he's just saying what
yeah,
he needs to say. Do
yeah.
you think that Lao is, let's use that term, not as indoctrinated as Theo Hernandez?
Uh, yes, I do because
I
uh,
believe that too.
I I I believe uh, there are two moments where you can see the true intentions of a person. One when he is super happy, two when he is super sad. And you could see by the way Lao celebrated, you could see Lao didn't celebrate as much as the other players. Like,
Yeah,
Theo was wasted, bro. Theo was
Yeah, he's
that
crazy.
guy was Ibra was wasted in the
yeah,
celebration.
yeah. I
While
think
while
Leao
Leao,
is
Messi weren't.
yeah,
Calabrias wasted. Tonali wasted. But
yeah,
Kessie, Leao, uh, they just weren't. They were a little bit more poker faced.
yeah, yeah. I don't see. I see Leao's head kind of being turned left and right uh, by, I mean, it's one thing for like Real Madrid, but like PSG and the EPL clubs. Uh, if a player were to leave Milan, if it's not for Real Madrid,
Yeah,
then it needs to be seen as a step down.
yeah. And do you know another player who, in my opinion, is super indoctrinated? Giroud. Man, this
Giroud.
guy, bro, this guy has celebrated his 10th trophy more than any other trophy as
Oh
well.
yeah,
What
he
the hell?
really felt it. He really felt it. Damn.
Giroud was celebrating like a kid, man. Holy shit.
And
Did,
everyone that joins Milan always talks about like they've never felt like
Yeah,
this type of like family atmosphere. And I
yeah,
and I believe that like looking at like the other clubs, Real Madrid definitely doesn't have that. And I look at, the other clubs around the world and they don't give me that same feeling that Milan gives.
yeah. I still think there are some things which maybe with time we can improve. Like even small stuff like Milanello needs an improvement. It's Milanello needs to, like, it's time for Milan to also give the players the highest level possible, even in small stuff like training grounds, like dressing rooms, like everything. Everything has to be the highest standard ever, because this is the way Real Madrid has worked. Ever since
Yeah.
Florentino Perez came, Real Madrid never settled for second best. Always trying to be the best by the training grounds, by the look at their, I don't know, dressing room. Everything is highest quality ever. So it, for me, it's kind of shitty that I watch Tottenham having great facilities, and then you watch Milan still with with Milanero, which was great in the 80s, but does not live to the standards anymore.
And you know what they should do? They don't necessarily have to like revamp all of the area, but they could save, that training ground for like special occasions, like maybe you're coming into a final and you want to feel the history of Milan, then you can train where the other greats have trained before or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
But like the rest of the facility needs to be like state of the art.
exactly, exactly. Like I understand that these are small stuff, but the thing is, the thing is that this small stuff do influence players subconsciously.
Yeah.
yeah. Listen, a few things here in the chat. Marshall asks a question. I don't know if you guys know this. I haven't heard this. Do you know if it's true that Redbird will only give us 80 million? I've not heard this, but if that is what some newspapers are saying, that's problematic.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe this stuff, man. I don't believe that the team that just won the Scudetto is gonna spend 80 million.
It
Like
doesn't make
what?
Mm.
sense. It wouldn't. It doesn't make sense. If what
And
I've heard
and
about Redbird, we might have to sell Leao just to fund our summer transfer. I was saying this during the whole chat today.
no, fuck that, fuck that. But listen, also one thing. Last year we heard Scaroni say that Milan had invested for the team to be in Europa League. We made
Yeah.
it to the Champions League. This year he said again, we invested for Milan to be on the in the top four. We won the Scudetto.
Top
Now it's
four.
time to now it's time to invest for real. Enough with hoping for overachievement.
Do you
Enough with
guys
that.
understand that even with the Maldini's Milan that he wants to invest in next year, I'm still gonna root for top four first. Do you understand
Sure,
that?
but sure, man, sure, but you're gonna celebrate
I,
only if you win
I'm gonna
the Scudetto.
celebrate early. You guys are gonna have
No,
to wait.
no, because at some point top four is not gonna be satisfied. Like you're not gonna
Oh,
be satisfied
it's
anymore
gonna
with top four.
satisfy me every year.
It's
Yeah.
Every year.
It's not that exciting anymore.
Like you think Juventus
Every
fans are happy that they are made top four the last 2 years?
Nope, they're super
Like
mad.
those guys,
Oh,
yeah,
trust
those
me,
guys are
trust me.
pissed.
I remember seeing them celebrate like little piggies when they got top four with Pioli on the last day. Like
Well,
little
because
piggies.
it was in the last day, man. Of course they were
This year they
celebrating.
celebrated early, so at the end they were like, whatever, we don't care. They're just playing their part because we're losers.
Roy, did you know that
What?
comes from 52% of Milan's fan base?
Your volume is out. I can hear
Can you hear me now?
you. Yes.
So I changed nothing. I just spoke again, so I have no idea why you can hear me now. Anyways, do you know that 52% of Milan's fan base comes from the Asian continent? What the hell, man? I didn't know that.
52%?
Yeah, 52%.
Wow, really? That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. Is it China?
Yeah, China and Indonesia.
Wow, wow. Nice. Good.
So we should do more fan service in this part of the world.
That's good because that's a good consumer base. And
Yeah.
now, did you, in compared to other clubs, did you perhaps see this on a? Was there a comparison with other clubs, or was this just a
Mm,
Milan thing?
no, I saw it on an interview that Forbes did with one of Elliot's representatives for Milan.
Yeah, he's born.
You guys
Proud to be
seen
part of the
the?
52.
Did you see Tick Size a comment about Diaz?
Yes.
No.
Where he is born from? From
Oh,
Indonesia?
Texas. I'm not sure. I think India. Diaz is garbage. I never want to see him in a Milan shirt again. He's not good enough for Milan. Okay, so this is the player. Wow, look at all that. Bruh, just let it out, huh? You want to let it all out. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
But be realistic though, Roy. If we were to somehow get Sanchez, Zaniolo,
And Bremer.
let's get real wild and put in Kunku as well. Diaz would not see the light of day in Milan.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but what are you trying to say? I
That we
don't,
need to do better.
He's trying to say that Nkunku might be better than Krunic because Krunic is the starter of Milan
Nobody's
in this
better than
position.
Red John. This is where you got that wrong. Nobody's better than Crooch.
Because Diaz lost the spots during.
And that's the other thing too. And that right there shows me a mental weakness as well. Because as a natural cam, to lose your starting spot to a utility player,
Yeah.
it should be unacceptable for me.
First to
wow,
a
guys.
CDM,
I hope he's
then
not
to a
listening.
utility player.
I hope he's
And
not
Krunic
listening.
and look and Krunic is Krunic was awesome for me.
Yeah,
I'm glad Krunic took over because he fucking deserved that shit. But as a player whose natural position is cam, to lose it to a utility player, you should feel embarrassed.
I don't agree with that, but fine.
Roy, come on, Roy. A
No,
utility
no,
player, a
no
player who
way.
does not specialize in any single situation in any position, is taking over
I
your
wouldn't.
position that you specialize in.
Why would you feel embarrassed?
Because a player who is technically less
I don't
skillful
think
and
that
less
way. I just
creative.
don't think that way. I don't think that way. I just, for me, it's like it's. If I have Diaz, I'll fight with Diaz. You know, if I have Nkunku, I'll fight with Nkunku. But for me, it's the same. You know. Of course, one gives you better guarantees,
Yeah,
and
Prune just gives you better guarantees.
Yeah, but Krunic is a good player. Krunic is a national.
I,
He's the
I,
star of
I,
his
I,
national
said,
team.
I said that Krunic is a good player.
He's
He
the
did really good this year.
he's a
But for
Bosnian Ballon d'Or
Diaz,
player.
yeah, but for Diaz, who came from Manchester City, he played with Real Madrid, to come in and lose your spot like that, nah, we need something better.
Listen,
Mamma
I,
mia,
I think
guys.
I think Diaz is a talented player because it cannot be a coincidence that
He's
this
a what?
guy is.
That's
I
why I
think
said.
Diaz. Yeah, I
That's
think
why I said
Diaz is. Yeah,
it's a mental problem with
yeah.
Diaz.
'Cause I think he is a talented player because it cannot be a coincidence that this guy is 22 years old and he has played for Real Madrid, Man City, and Milan. Like this guy is clearly talented, but he needs that spark, and if he doesn't find it anytime soon, he needs to leave. We cannot wait for him forever.
Well, I think
Exactly.
Diaz next season is going to be very important for the squad.
I hope so.
I hope so too. But
It
he
depends.
has to show it. He
It
has to
depends
show it.
because I think if they do get a big player, then Diaz is going to have a tough time because it depends who comes. And also, let's remember that Pioli likes to play with more defensive cams.
No,
So
no, no. I don't think that's true. He only did that because he had no other option.
you're. This is where we will disagree forever. Pioli loves his high press and he loves his defensive team. He loves the fact that his team does not concede goals, and he loves the fact that he can win the ball high.
Yes, I understand that,
And
but
and
Roy, come on, Roy. If you getting Kunku in, or
well,
Zaniolo
well,
or
I'm not.
someone else who can
Yeah,
actually play
okay,
Cam, bro, bro, anybody can high press. Like even Hakan
okay,
was
but these
pressing
players.
high and defending too. Like
Okay, but I'm saying Sanchez. Like if he's, I think he's gonna put Sanchez there. Just knowing how Pioli likes to play, I think he's gonna put Sanchez there in that position.
but Sanchez is a Cam slash right winger.
Right,
He's not a defensive minded
but
player first.
he's not super offensive like in Kunku,
Mm.
like in Zaniolo. He's
Oh
not
yeah,
that.
he's more of like a he's well
He's more
no
like a
because
Çalhanoğlu, but a really good one.
no because he played for a lot of games this year. He was playing as a right winger
Here's
for Lille.
Yeah,
listen.
but he's not like in a, he's not a stat hoarder. He doesn't.
Here's
That's not
but
his game.
here's what I think. I agree with Nathan in this part because we have not like just think what Pioli is thinking. Pioli is thinking this: if I put Kronic in instead of Diaz, I am more solid at the back, right? Because Krunic does a better job defensively than Diaz.
And also,
But
Krunic doesn't never loses the ball.
yeah, and also presses better. Now, if I put Diaz, what am I gaining?
With Diaz, what you gain is you
You're
gain.
gaining nothing.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
if
No,
you
no. Let's
if
be
you
real.
put
No,
hmm,
no. With Diaz, you gain a different kind of attacking, and you gain
well,
a
what
different kind
kind?
of game.
What what kind of attack?
Well, for example, what Diaz does, he likes to carry the ball forward with him, and he brings the ball forward
Yeah,
fast.
but
He likes
he
to create fast. Like look at the
but,
goals against Inter, right? Or the goals
against Inter.
like he likes to attack space fast. Krunic doesn't do that.
Yeah,
Krunic
yeah, but
stops. He turns
no,
around. He
but
passes vertically, horizontally.
But again, what we stand to gain from playing, or better said, what we stand to gain from Kunch's ability to make us solid is far superior to what we gain or what we uh,
I wouldn't
uh,
say far superior, but it's better. It's
is
more solid.
far superior than what Diaz gives us
I don't agree
offensively.
with that.
So
Far superior
so
is a big
so
word.
far superior,
I
and
don't agree with that. No way.
this is the
What
reason
is
why I
far
think
superior? Far superior is too big of a word. But okay, fine. Go ahead.
far Far superior means that when Krunic plays, we are more solid. This is a fact. When Diaz plays, we are not necessarily better at attacking. We
Mm-mm.
are not.
No, this is
No.
where you're wrong. This is where you're at.
I'm sorry, but Diaz was the starter of AC Milan when Milan couldn't score a goal to save their lives. He, wa-
Exactly.
he, were, he,
Exactly.
was,
That's
he was
where
the
the
starter.
problem is. The problem is that it's not that with Krunic we defend better. It's that with Krunic the
Was,
decision making
was,
in the final third is better.
yeah, because
But
Diaz is not good enough to
no, because
compensate for
Diaz
that.
is still learning and he's still a youngster and he's
Yeah,
still going through that phase.
which is my point. He's
But
not
with
good enough.
Krunic, with Diaz, you just you have Krunic and he did the right thing to choose
No,
Krunic.
man.
I
It,
agreed.
it,
I
it,
agreed with
it,
that.
it's different. With Krunic, you have to score one goal because you're not going to concede. With
No,
Diaz,
no, no.
we,
Actually,
we,
with Krunic, you score more than one goal.
maybe, yeah, but
You score three or two or four.
you don't concede. Now, with the problem is with Diaz,
No, this is not true. This is where you're wrong.
with Diaz, you not only are less solid, but you don't even have the guarantee that
No,
Diaz will add something to the team because
actually, this is
these are
wrong.
facts, man.
Technically wrong. Because even
The-
with Diaz, we didn't concede goals. And
If
even
you
Diaz actually, Diaz's best attribute are his pressing game.
if you if you remove the very bad shot at the goal, which ended up being an assist for Giroud in the derby, if you
Yeah,
remove that,
yeah.
Diaz's last goal contribution was
Hmm.
in September, bro. In
No, okay, but
September.
nobody,
So
everybody
this guy,
understands this. Leao was the same. I mean, a little bit better, but Leao was similar. La-
similar, but the difference is that if
Actually, last year maybe Diaz did even better.
only in the last 4 games. But the
Okay,
problem is this. The problem is this. If with Leao we would see the talent and the sparkle, because every 2 games or every 3 games, Leao would have a great game. With Diaz, we haven't seen this. We haven't seen this.
it's gonna happen. No, we have seen it. You guys didn't
Now
see it.
we
We have seen
with
it.
Diaz we saw really good 3 weeks at the beginning of the championship, and after that,
The final decision, you can see that he's going to get to a point where his final decisions on the final third are going to be deadly.
So, Roy, how come we looked also even better when Tonali was acting as a cam and Krunic would drop back?
Well, first of all, I looked at that, and it's not. They were both playing high, Tonali and Krunic. They're not. I mean, sometimes they always changing.
Well,
Like
play high,
Pioli
but
has said
one
it in
was
his interview. Pioli has two ways of playing that midfield: with one midfielder in the back, or with and two pressing up top, or with two midfielders in the back and one pressing up top. He ended the season with two midfielders up top pressing, Tonali, and that was a great choice. I agree with that. Like, why the fuck didn't he do that sooner? We all agree with that.
yeah. But my point is, Roy, when I look at Tonali and when he's playing up higher, he gives me like memories of Boateng. When I see Diaz, I get nothing. Like there's like no emotion.
No, but okay. I mean, let's not forget that Diaz was very important for getting us in the Champions League the first year. It's not,
Everyone was important, Roy.
yeah, and this time too, Diaz was important. I sent guys actually. Matrix Comp made a video of the whole season. Actually, we should probably watch it together on a live another time. And you see how many players were important this season to make this thing happen. Diaz is there. Salamakers is there. Tonali is there. Benacer is there. Gabbia. You see it all because it documents the whole season. Every single game. It shows you the formations and the goals, the assists, and what those games meant. The players celebrating together. The whole team. All of those guys were important.
Yes, Roy. Everybody was important on the entire team. We understand that. But the fact is, there are certain players in key positions that simply do not live up to what we need them to do.
Yeah, fine. And next year, if we get Zaniolo, I'm sure or Nkunku or whoever, It's going to be tough competition for Diaz if he stays. I think
Well,
Sanchez is
he's
going.
going to stay. And the one thing I also say, just in I guess a small defense of Diaz, is he has no real competition for his spot. Like no
No,
one's there to actually push him.
to play that way, yeah. Like Maldini is his competition.
Right.
So it's when you have a big personalities like Krunic, who's 27, he's the captain of Bosnia, Bosnian Player of the Year, whatever. Like he's a personality. He's grown into a mature player. Kessie is a charismatic player. It's yeah. Yeah.
We will we will see. I hope we do get Zaniolo because we do need like our Italian DNA is like paper thin right now.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
agree with Zaniolo. I would love to have Zaniolo on the team, yeah.
if and that's like if we have to buy an Italian player. Like I like Berardi too, but I think Zaniolo is the better choice for the future, the present and the future.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. If we have to talk a long-term investment, of course, Zaniolo is definitely the better choice. And we'll see. I think it's going to be difficult. He had a bad, there was parts in the season where he had some, off moments with Mourinho, and there was talk about him being sold. If don't replace Kessie with a similar player, we will not be as strong defensively as we have been this season. This is something that must be addressed. No players on a roster can do his job. Now, can Krunic do
I
his job?
disagree with this.
Because remember Krunic when he started in the double pivot in the beginning of the season, where it was Krunic and Tonali? And Krunic had a fucking amazing game. And again, guys, watch the Matrix comp Milan. I'll put it here. Because you get, I remember, it brings back all the games. You'll remember all the games. I don't know if anybody has seen this, guys, but it
Yo,
is.
this guy, Matrix Comp. What the hell is it? He has like 24,000 subscribers, and then you go to his videos, and every video is like 100K plus. What the hell? How is it even possible?
I'm not sure. What do you think that means?
Is he buying views or what's going
Oh,
on?
probably. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Because it makes no sense. Like every video is 100 plus K.
This video right here, guys, if you have a time, watch it. It's brilliantly done.
Club per tornare dove Milan deve essere.
Already an extraordinary opening weekend. A debut for Mike Maignan, newly signed from Lille. Can Milan reach out and grab?
So this was the formation. Remember Krunic, Tonali, Leao, Diaz, Salamanca, Giroud, Calabria, Caio, Tomori, Hernandez. And Krunic and Tonali had a great game. They were the standout players of that game. Anyway,
Yeah, but
watch it.
we
Watch this thing. It's really good.
we didn't have a great game against
For me,
Sampdoria.
that was a great game. For me, that was a great game.
No, come on, man. we scored a super lucky goal, and Sampdoria almost
Yeah, but I
drew the
think
game in multiple occasions.
I think your first game of the season against a competitive team, Sampdoria is not.
Yeah,
They're going to compete. That
yeah.
was good. We won and we brought the result home. For me, that's a good game. For me, that's a good
I
game.
think Diaz scored the goal, and the goalkeeper, I don't know, he chokes.
Yeah, I mean, we can watch a little bit. Let's watch it.
They'll feel as though
The
Milan
Mike
can try and
Maignan
claw that
long
gap,
ball.
which is 12 points behind Inter last season. Another slip from Sam Calabria to tee it up.
Look at the
That's right.
goalkeeper then. It's so bad. The goalkeeper man stupid.
From here. Well, it's Gabbiadini. Here's Rebic. Oh, crowning effort. That will do it for Milan. The early
I remember
goal from
Krunić's
Brahim
goal,
Diaz was
Krunić's
enough.
performance. I was
They
really
start
impressed with Krunić.
with a victory. It's 3 in a row away at Sam. It's a big win on the opening day.
Welcome back there, and a great night of Serie A football in store. One of the great venues, a
We
cathedral.
win like
fans
4-1
back.
or something like
A
that.
venue which is at half capacity this evening.
Do you remember this game?
Yeah, we won
Lovely touch
4-1.
there by Giroud. It's Leao in the clear.
Tonali's goal.
Yeah.
It is Tonali. It's absolutely superb.
Oh yeah, this one also Krunić
Jan Pedro now.
played. I remember it.
3 to attack this. There's the header. It's 1-1. Hernandez.
Brahim Diaz goal.
Now Leao.
Yeah.
It's a powerful hit.
Yeah.
Deflects in.
Brahim Diaz 2 goals so far. Both goals.
Bit to here for Diaz.
But he had the
Over
assist.
attack. Diaz
Yeah.
for Giroud.
This was
What a beauty.
a good choice. Yeah. This is the penalty that Giroud did not give to Theo, even though Theo asked for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they could be a real force once again under his guidance this season.
And now wait for the ovation as we
What was the
still
score
get
here?
used to the idea of
2-0, but we
Serie A
dominated
Stadium
these guys.
once
This was a
again.
great
This was one of the best games of the season. for
Yeah.
us. We fucking dominated them. 90 minutes, they couldn't fucking move.
Outside in, but what a run this is
As a
from
matter of fact, we
Rafael Leao.
dominated.
It starts
We
to open
we.
up. It's
You know
Rebic.
how hard
It's
it is to
Rafael
beat
Leao.
the same team 3 times in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
And-
very, very
and-
difficult.
Not just beat them, but in 2 occasions dominate them. Well, in 2.5, because in the third game, in the second half, it was they were bad.
Crossbar.
Yeah.
Moment at San Siro. Rebic.
But then in the second half of the third game, we absolutely dominated. We shot like 30 goals, 30 shots on the goal.
Milan march on. Early days.
I remember
Well,
Roma
but they're
was
a
doing
serious
so
contender.
good in the
Hope you
beginning of the
enjoyed it
year.
anyway.
Yeah, yeah. They were
In
winning
fact,
every
they
game.
didn't drop until
1-1.
we beat them.
This is the match where Rebic scores a header, and he's like Kalma.
To put serial winner Juve 11 points
The
behind.
save on Kalulu here was crazy.
He's in behind.
Yeah.
He's 1-on-1. And he's scored.
Why is it acting like this, guys?
This is Salamaker's fuck up, by the way. That goal.
The last clean sheet here. Can Milan find a way through? Tonali's ball in, and they have found a way through. Renzi's made a dart to the edge of the box,
There,
Here,
that save.
how do you save this one? Fucking hell.
and there will be no more. As the referee brings the game to a close.
Come on.
It will be a point apiece.
Welcome back. We're at San Siro.
Milan Verona.
Venezia.
Venezia. 2-0? I don't remember.
Result against the Serie A new boys. And jointly top the table with defending
Gabbia
I think-
Romagnoli, guys. Gabbia
I think
Romagnoli.
this one we
Balotelli.
win
Kalulu for Milan.
2-0 or 3-1. I don't remember.
Kalulu.
If you notice, look at these goals too. Look how we're playing them into the box more.
Defending champions.
Guys, look at the formation we started in the defense. Balotelli, Romagnoli, Gabbia, Kalulu.
Crazy.
Wow. Florenzi, look at Florenzi where he was playing. Florenzi, Diaz, Leao, Benacer, Rebic up top.
And now we know that Florenzi is a winger. No bueno.
No bueno. He can do that. He can do what Salamakers does.
Yeah, I guess. if you're comparing him with Salamaker, then yeah.
Rebic. Kalulu to Aramu. He's released Henri.
Grande Romagnoli.
Grande Capitano.
Benacer floating one.
Oh, Diaz
Oh,
goal.
Diaz. There you go.
Yeah, that was a good goal.
Finally, a good goal.
Good. Finally, good service. Look at. There you go. Salamakers.
What do you mean finally good service? Diaz is the guy who could provide
Collect
service.
the clean sheet. They collect the 3 points.
You should be getting good service too.
Joint leadership of Serie A.
Hello and welcome along to
Milan.
Spezia against AC Milan in Syria. A win today would take
2-1.
third place Milan
Maldini
top,
goal,
albeit maybe
right?
temporarily.
Maldini scored. Kalulu assists. Maldini
In
scores.
the table.
And then
Kalulu.
Salamakers.
No, and then Diaz.
Whistle has gone.
But with Salamaker's assist.
Rafael Leao.
I think Salamaker
Finds
scores
Kalulu.
a good goal
Crosses to
against
the
Verona
area.
or something. I don't remember.
Maldini.
But he scores a beautiful goal, Salamaker.
The legacy lives on. Fente with a step
Oh,
overs.
this goal here.
Wants to shoot. Does shoot. Deflection. Equaliser.
So annoying, this goal.
Yeah. I thought we were actually going to draw this
Trying
game.
to fight a way through. It might come and it does.
But then Theo died doing Theo cranking.
So it's time.
But that was a Salamaker's assist.
Shoot. Deflection. Equaliser.
So now you guys can't call him a champion anymore. You have to say, look at that.
Trying to fight a way through. It might come and it does.
Guys, why the fuck does the internet in...
So it's time.
Rory, you gotta pay your internet bill, bro. Or stop stealing internet from your neighbors.
Exactly. I was about to say it.
I'm not.
Prospect here.
This
Two of last season's top.
Atalanta.
We beat the brakes off of them, and then the referee helped them get back into the game.
Man, to be honest, the first two goals here were a little bit lucky. Right? Because in the first goal, the goalkeeper fucks it up. Totally.
What the fuck? Hold on.
I don't know what Musa was doing in the first goal, but he was like, "Ooh, try one more time."
So we're using Redbird internet. Hold on. Yeah, the goalkeeper here makes a blunder.
Campaign just a point apart. Milan seconds, Atalanta third. It is the goddess against the devil.
The young side, they are
But
growing.
how beautiful is this from fullback to fullback? Like, what is Musa doing there, bro? Like, what?
Wait, but you know what? I think. Look at Tonali.
Yeah, Tonali fucking a vecchio quarter.
Macias has made a run. Salamakers is there as well.
This is a nice goal.
And Rafael Leao
Yeah,
hits it.
this is a beautiful goal.
And that is a devastating finish. It's Duvan Zapata up against Menyan. And he scores. Really, he's working hard, getting back.
Look at that. That was a
chance to
foul.
cross. On a
I mean,
great chance
this
to
referee was just
Stefano Pioli
unreal.
Register another 3 points. They remain unbeaten.
Look at Juventus down in 8th place.
2010-11.
Hellas Verona. This game here was
the first.
This is the famous Castillo.
I think Salamakers scores this game. He scores his only goal. But it's actually a beautiful goal.
Oh, it's opened up here. What a chance! Barak buries it.
That should have never been a penalty.
Good ball. Typical Olivier Giroud goal.
Come on,
And
dude.
it
What the
does, right in the corner. Castelleco here.
Wait, no, this is the Castillo game. Salamakers doesn't score here.
Guys, this was one of the best games of the season. This was one of my favorite games of the season.
No, but this one was a weird game.
Dude, when I saw Castillo cry like that,
to the Stadio Renato
Yeah.
Dell'Ara Bologna against
That gave me
Milan. The
goosebumps
two
when
sides
at
have made
that
their way
moment,
out.
to
It
be
is a
honest.
wonderful atmosphere.
Man, do
here
you
in
remember
Bologna.
this game? This game was such a suffering, bro.
The ball away again.
We went 2 goals ahead, and then 10 men Bologna destroyed us and went 2-2.
Oh, now, as the referee seen here, this is going to be a red card. Skorupski loses it. Castillejo fires it back in, and it's drilled in by Calabria.
oh, come on.
And Daniel Maldini is on the bench for Milan.
Oh, on goal, huh?
Yeah.
Played by
By
Arnautovic.
Ibrahim.
Soriano helps it on. Musa Barrow! It's
And
2-2!
and directly after this goal, they almost scored the third one. Fucking
What a
crazy.
nasty one. That's painful, isn't it? Yeah. Caught by Soriano right on the ankle.
Oh, 9 players.
Found space, Bakayoko to deliver.
Look at Bakayoko, man. Never talk shit about Bakayoko.
All right, he had a slice on the pie.
Yeah.
Space to run and to here the Algerian. It's found Ibrahimovic, who wraps up the points for Milan. It is going to be a 6th successive win for Milan.
I mean, look how close the Serie A was. Like, this was the most competitive league.
This
But I
is
think
solid.
Round, welcome along everybody. And here we are
Against
in
Inter?
San Siro.
No.
Swinging corner. Now maybe something. Tatarusanu denies
Nathan, do you
Sanabria.
remember who did Salamaker score against?
The frustration keeps
It was
growing for
against.
Torino.
I,
Beaten
Can't
1-0
remember.
by Napoli. Beaten
I,
1-0
I
by
remember how the
Juventus.
goal
Beaten
Are we?
was. I just don't
Are we
remember who
sure?
it's
scored the
Are we
goal.
sure?
Salernitana. It's against Salernitana.
That's
Are we sure he scored?
Exciting news on the team front.
Yeah.
Ibra will start tonight for Milan, who are off to their best start in
This
67
game,
years,
we
James.
paid the ref to win this
Yeah,
game,
really
but
building
whatever.
on what they did last season.
Nah, we destroyed them, man. What are you talking about?
Nervous whistles from the crowd. Ibrahimovic strikes it brilliantly.
He completely wipes them out, doesn't he?
Got the nudge of Karsdorp. He's played in Ibrahimovic who goes
Yeah,
down
that,
on the spot up against.
this
That was.
wasn't a pen, guys.
It's Kessie.
This wasn't a
It's
pen.
2-0.
Looking at it like that didn't look like a penalty.
Pellegrini.
It was a penalty. It was a
Clumsy
penalty.
challenge that,
It was a
wasn't it?
penalty.
And he's been booked, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go into the box, and it does. And it drops here. And in! El Shaarawy. Milan keep on winning 7 in a row in Serie A. They are serious
going after the
challengers
youngsters.
for the Scudetto.
Milan with
Big size really hates Diaz,
lead at the top of Serie
and I cannot blame
A.
him.
Inter, their
I
fans
can't
reminding us
blame
they
him.
are the champions though
Was this?
in Italy, and tonight gives them
Oh,
the
this
chance
game was
within
epic.
5
Oh
points
my
Man,
god,
this
this game
game,
was
of the
epic.
this
lead.
game
It's a
was
huge one.
Tataruzano, man. Tataruzano, the
Kessie's played
post.
I
himself
can't
into
believe they called the
the
foul
trouble
on
here.
Kessie. That's incredible.
Yeah, yeah, I think the same.
It's
Look at the
Hakan
snake.
Çalhanoğlu.
Look at the snake.
Handanovic looks on. Tonali floats it in there.
And man, this was an own goal, but
Yeah.
Tomori was like, fuck it, man. They're never gonna find out. I'm gonna celebrate it.
And that was a great tackle by Ballatore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
legend. Tatarusanu.
and look, he saved us
Look
right
at
there too.
Balaturan.
And that was Ballatore right there who saved us.
Yeah, these guys deserve. They all have a
So it
slice.
ends all square in the derby. In truth, both sides had
Cyprian the
opportunities to win it.
vampire.
Both must settle for a
Tataruzano.
point in the end.
Make no mistake, this
Oh
is
my
a
god, man.
huge
This fucking
football
game,
club,
bro.
and this is a massive fixture.
This game was a clown
And
fiesta, man.
Fiorentina would
Fucking
love nothing
And it
more
came against
than knocking
everything.
Milan
Like,
off their
yeah.
perch.
Like, we didn't even play bad this game.
Sanabria made the near post run, and it goes through to the goalkeeper, and it's
Just Tataruzano doing Tataruzano kind of thing.
Oh my god. I didn't see this game.
So this was a crazy game, man. I think it went like 3-0 for Fiorentina, then 3-2, and then 4-2, and then 4-2.
It's Vlahovic for 3. Oh, it's given away though. And there's
Here,
Ibrahimovic,
Ibra
and there's
totally
Vlahovic.
fucking bring
He
that,
was
man.
so convinced
That
he
was such a
fouled.
bad call to shoot from there.
Theo Hernandez rolls it across, and it's Zlatan Ibrahimovic again.
And then Theo with his brain battery.
Lazy in possession.
And these guys was when Gaet started talking shit like, don't sell him, fuck him, he's a useless player.
That's when it started, exactly.
Unbeaten record is gone. And now it's a question of how they rebuild. Matchday 14 in Serie A continues.
and we get beat even worse.
Oh my god, bro. This game we scored, I was like, finally. Finally we scored first, we're not gonna lose it. Romagnoli, right?
With the
Yeah.
delivery, and Milan ahead. A tremendous header. Last week, they lost to Fiorentina.
And then we get
Scamacca, best goal of his life.
that was a golazo.
Ball in. Oh,
Yeah.
it was cleared off the line, and Scamacca has smashed in the rebound. It clipped through
And
to De Bruyne.
Berardi, the other one, of
Reached
course.
it back. Here's Domenico Berardi. Is there room for a shot?
Like, man, it's Romagnoli is so bad, man. Like, it's embarrassing. What is it doing, man? What is it doing with this guy?
There's no defense of this guy, Roy. I don't want to
That
hear
was pretty
any
poor.
more.
That was poor. That was very poor.
I don't
What
want to
the
hear
hell are
any
you
more.
doing, man?
Welcome back, everybody, to the
This
Luigi
was
Saga
Shevchenko.
Stadium here at Genoa.
Shevchenko
Where
against
Milan
Shevchenko.
coach
No
Pioli is
wonder
looking for a
Romagnoli lost his
positive
starting
reaction
spot.
to
Are you
side
kidding me?
following
What is that?
That was poor.
rise
That was very poor.
weekend loss. We're aware of our qualities, he said. Ibrahimovic through the wall.
Guy, hey,
There's your
Ibra,
answer.
Ibra hasn't scored the fucking free kick in ages. This season he scores 2. Fucking hell.
There's Theo Hernandez. Good strong run from him. Brahim Diaz, his control let him down a little bit.
Oh, another assist from Mr. Diaz.
Yeah. Super
There it
assist.
is. The final whistle goes, and
But
Milan
Salonigas would have never scored
cruise
that.
to a
By the way.
2 goals by
victory.
Nah,
Macias.
Salamaker would have launched it over the stadium.
He scored
But
2 goals.
this is the match when Salonigas scores, guys.
And could finish it in first with victory over the
Salernitana?
league's bottom side.
Yeah.
Melt as well against Sortea. Still there. Deflection and Kessi's put it in. This is Brahim Diaz.
I don't remember that game. Oh, yeah, right here.
Yeah. It was actually a beautiful goal.
Oh, and it's a wonderful shot and a wonderful goal. The Belgian.
Yeah, and Kjaer. This is what Kjaer
A
got
routine
into.
victory that takes RossonARI to the top of the league.
He got lucky because if he didn't score this one,
This is when the league was
looking
rigged.
for that formidable frame.
This
Flick
was-
on as well. Delafeo's in behind here. Many years.
No,
why?
Given away. Arslan
The handball goal. Yeah.
no, that was the second game with the handball.
Oh, it was
Might
the
get a
second
second chance.
Is this the first game?
Smashed into the roof of the net.
Ah, yes. Yes.
3 to
This is the
Ayman.
Ibra
Ibrahimovic trying
like
to keep it
volley
alive.
goal.
Spectacular.
That's right.
That is the full-time whistle. Frustration you feel for
Udinese
both sides.
every year.
What about
Yeah, every year is a fucking
Every
pain in
year.
the
for
ass.
our live special tonight? The lights are on. Lucia San Siro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is the geographical offsides, right?
What a start this is for Napoli.
Yeah.
Jesus said it clear, and it came out to be struck. In towards Olivier Giroud.
Look
And
at this.
Castillejo hit Kessie!
This is unacceptable.
And the goal disallowed.
Unacceptable.
That's it.
Unacceptable.
A priceless victory here for Napoli.
This was the game that Laert would say, no, it was the right call, but then boom, pull it out of his ass every time we had a debate about it.
Exactly.
Sense an opportunity.
Then he comes to my
This
side.
part of Tuscany.
Yeah.
Salamaker's assist. This game was one of the worst games of it.
This game we scored like a lot of goals, but we played like shit.
It was so shit.
Salamakers. Kessie. Kessie shot, it squeezed in.
Like, even Kessie didn't believe that he scored that.
It's
Oh, Florenzi took it, yeah. The wall placement there, it's really a cheat.
And the man on loan from Inter get one back here. He can. Emphatically, really good penalty. Final minute of added time. As a volley comes in and hits the bar. Well, one end to the game that would have been. Alessio Romagnoli with a fantastic strike, Nigel.
So all set to start.
This
Always
game
in
was
Syria,
amazing.
I think in Italy,
Yeah.
this date in the calendar is seen as the true
This was a
start.
Look at Diaz,
We're
man.
in
Look
for a
at
great
Diaz,
title
the
race
skill.
and a really monster battle. Giroud, yes. That's short. Giroud for 2 off the post, and the rebound is buried.
This period with Macias, but Salamaker started too.
Whips it in there. Magnan can't adjust this time. Abraham goes driving forward, and he picks out Abraham, who turns well. Tammy
Boom,
Abraham.
and that's it. Yeah. Here, hey, look at Smalling running up and down.
This
It looks
was
like
when
Smalling
they
is not even running.
This goal was very important for them. I think he realized he was a beast.
Proud to wear the jersey and work hard for their coach.
Smalling looked like he was frozen.
Welcome to the Stadio Pioli.
Like he was in slow motion.
For
Yeah.
Venezia
I
against
love this
Milan
game. This game
on
was
the island
great.
of
Do
Santa
you guys
Elena
remember this game?
in Venice.
I don't quite remember this game.
Hernandez. Milan getting in behind here. Ibrahimovic in the centre, and Ibrahimovic has a tap in.
They
Do we
are
win
just destroyed.
2-0 or 2-1?
I think it was
Something like that.
3.
3-1.
Good
Yeah,
one by Theo
I
Hernandez.
remember.
But this result beyond doubt with half an hour to go, and he does.
And
What a
he
sweet
misses the penalty
from
after
Theo
this game,
Hernandez.
right? Against Salernitana.
And it is Milan
Oh, it's
who
decent.
move to the top of Syria. 2 points ahead of Inter. Their city rivals and champions do have a game in hand.
We could have a new leader in Serie A
They
tonight.
do have a game in
Round of
hand.
matches draw to
Oh
a
my God,
close.
this game
Milan
though.
need a
Spezia.
win
It was
to
against
leapfrog
Spezia
city
that time.
rivals
Yeah.
into reclaim top spot. But Spezia have been surprisingly good recently on their travels. Brahim Diaz racing into the box as well. Leao might fancy this. He certainly does.
Ah, so close.
Oh, and Providel getting in
Penalty.
real trouble
And
So many
still
chances.
fucked it up. Like how can you do it exactly?
Stayed on the deck. Milan get the ball away. Oh, and it might fall here for Rafael Leao, who does score.
And by the way, also after this game, I heard again, we should sell Pioli. He's the fucking best player.
Forward they come again. Rebic the substitute.
What a
I cannot believe that.
The whistle has already blown. All over Kalulu. Oh, and now it's with Kovalenko. And Kovalenko looks to set up Jassi. It's Jassi, and it's absolutely stunning.
And didn't that guy, wasn't he supposed to receive the red card earlier? Like he should have received the second yellow.
Oh yeah, I remember that. There was something. Yeah.
Milan Juventus.
Oh, my favorite team.
Big Sunday night game from round
Yeah, the
23.
most boring
of
game
the
of the season.
Italian seasons of the fans
I
there
enjoyed this game.
at San Siro.
From Calabria.
I enjoyed the fact that Juventus couldn't take a shot on goal.
Macias to his right.
Yeah, but 90 minutes of nothingness.
Yeah, no, it
Calabria's
wasn't.
a long way forward and decides to have a go. And Giroud.
Mamma mia, Salamanca
Inter
should have had
still
an
top,
assist.
4 points clear of Napoli, who's moved into second place ahead of Milan.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, this is the game that won us the Scudetto.
Right.
Yeah, this was the turning point.
And in the first half, we got dominated like dogs. Like, they had like 30 shots on goal, but it was Magnano. Such a
But
good
that
fucking
save,
player.
that save was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going the wrong direction.
Yeah. And here against Dumfries,
Oh, dude,
1-1.
saved it. Even though I gotta admit, Dumfries could have done much better.
Yeah, but if you are that close to the keeper, you have, like, the player that shoots the ball has to make a mistake for the keeper to get it.
Yeah, but it also depends on the angle that you're in, too.
Yeah, but in the angle he is right there, he has all the time and all the space in the world.
He has the bottom corner that is open.
Yeah.
On his weaker side,
This is a great save, man. This is a great save. This is just Dumfries being an idiot.
He has that corner right there open.
Yeah, but
that's
also,
a difficult shot. That's a difficult shot.
I think Mike has that covered. I think Mike's positioning is actually very good.
If you put this ball right there, how do you say, on the ground, on the ground, that's tough. That's tough to get.
Be able to get there and done.
I mean, that's pretty central the way he shoots it.
4 points clear of Napoli, who've moved into second place ahead of Milan.
I mean,
don't
you think you could have scored that? I think I could have scored
not
that.
for the faint-hearted as Inter host Milan.
On his weaker side, and Maignan with a stunning save.
Barella calling for it. And Peach might be able to get there and does! Terrific stop. Maignan once again. The area today as well. And it comes once more. Found the corner! Arsenal players, Giroud. This is Tonali.
Well, look at this shot.
Nicely here. Diaz. Oh, and it's just about.
How dare you say a Chapman? It was an assist.
He's made a difference, all right, Brahim Diaz. This is Giroud again to turn and curl and find the corner.
Good goal by Giroud.
Man, it's a good thing I remember I was at a gas station, and it was a good thing I wasn't inside, because I was going nuts outside.
Looked like they were going to go 7 clear at the top. But it's Milan just 1 behind. And the hunting pack are closing in on Simone Inzaghi's side.
I mean, what a close race the entire year.
Yeah, but it wasn't even just us and Inter. It was us, Inter, and Napoli.
Yeah.
Here's Leao hitting the middle of Berazinski. Leao scores! And Milan hit the front. Rafael Leao's goal on 8 minutes, enough to take them
I remember
to the top
Inter
of the
went
table.
downhill after they got beat by us.
Yeah, right. They had a nasty period.
cause a mighty upset in Nicole's
But so did we. So did we, because all these games that we had dropped points, Inter drew or lost.
Lovely ball forward from Theo
Yeah.
Hernandez for Messias. 5 against 3 here if they get this right. Long towards George.
Here, Manyan, I have no idea what he was doing. He also makes another mistake during the game.
Goes down holding his ankle. He has to stay
But I think Tomori or Tonali saved it.
breeze past
This
this
one,
guy
yeah,
does
this one, yeah.
Got some thinking to
Yeah,
do.
Romagnoli,
Has
man,
the
it was
ball to do.
Romagnoli.
I think Salernitana are starting to think they could even win this. Here's Mazzocchi, who's been magnificent again. It's a free header. It's unbelievable. He did keep them up, and he did cycle there 1,300 kilometres. It's a good hit from Rebic.
This was the most random shot ever.
Because there's the final whistle, and Salernitana have held on. Salernitana 2, Milan 2. Well, hello,
Here it
welcome
is.
to San
Here
Siro.
it is.
Wayne Boyce with you as
Exactly.
Serie A leaders Milan face
They really
relegation
said that they
threatened
can't
Udinese.
overturn the call
And
because the
Stadio
video
Giuseppe
evidence was
Meazza.
clear.
With the top two both in action this
I
evening,
thought it
Milan
was
need a
so
win
clear.
to ensure
No,
they finish the
I know
weekend
the
still
VAR
on
screen
top
was
of the
very
table.
fuzzy
To
actually.
And Rafael Leao, good first touch, good finish. She does, flicked on by Becao. Delafeu found kindly for him. Pereira, and that it is for the third successive game. It finishes 1. Oh, good first touch, good
They're
finish.
not going to show the.
Yeah.
They're not going to show it like that.
Delafeu found kindly for him. Pereira.
Yeah, you can really see it from here.
For the third successive game, it finishes 1-1 between these two sides. Second successive draw here for Udinese. And
That's right.
frustration for Milan. A couple of
Barca
points.
top 4.
In Serie A this year, we've got the top 3 separated by only 1
Also, this one was a super damn important game.
point.
When we,
Yeah.
And we've got
This was
proper game of culture for you this evening live on Golazzo.
epic.
and in
Napoli
every
hosting
important game,
Milan.
Giroud, man, it's fucking
There's a
Giroud.
bit of a late tackle on there, Giroud. Haven't seen it again.
Ooh, he got
Boy's
an
caught it
injury
badly.
here, man. The hole in the leg.
Milan side at such a young age. There's his ball in, and Kessie hit one.
Calabria?
And Calabria struck it, and it's turned in.
Calabria pulling the Diaz there.
Such an important touch from Milan. Theo Hernandez was
Oh,
offside,
here's
I think.
your guys' favorite moment.
Is in
Oh yeah,
That's
He can
right.
finish it here.
garbage.
Yeah.
This is garbage.
Every one of us was sure he wasn't
Basura.
going to score it. He
Absolutely
wasn't going to
That
score
is
it.
huge.
We
Everyone
might
knew.
have to send him over to Inter for that.
And it's a limping, hobbling
Giroud was
Olivier
clutch.
Giroud, who's got the goal that has made all the difference in Naples.
Welcome back to our live Saturday night coverage of Serie A. The
Milan
big game this evening, Milan against Empoli, kick-off rapidly
Oh,
approaching.
right.
Olivier Giroud.
I
Florenzi
don't
played,
remember this game.
Ah,
Kalulu goal. Yeah.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
Florenzi
But the
played for
bottom corner of the net
Hernandez.
has been fouled. Ball for Kessie in the box. Giroud goes for it.
This was
Leao
Florenzi's
looking to
chance.
set up Florenzi. Cutrone and Pinamonti wait in the middle, and Magnon says, no, that ball's mine. That will do
1-0,
it. It
damn.
hasn't been vintage.
Yeah.
Milan
Kalulu
tonight,
goal.
but enough to claim the 3 points.
And good evening to you from the
Oh, this game here.
in Sardinia.
This game here.
Inter held by Fiorentina.
Magnan's super save.
Napoli scraping past Udinese. It is
Super
very,
save
very
and
dramatic.
hit the
Up
crossbar.
towards the
Yeah.
goal. Theo Hernandez did so well to loft that indeed, and it falls for Giroud.
Giroud, I think, I can't remember. Was this game bad that game?
Yeah,
From Brahim Diaz, then
super goal. This was a super good
it's a
like
wonderful
action
goal
overall.
from
Yeah.
Ismail Benasser. Howard
This
into
is
one, kick it off towards the other side of
That
the
save,
Fucking-
guys. Oh my.
Fucking my God, man.
What a hard-fought, grueling win in the rain in Sardinia.
So welcome along everybody as the Serie A season resumes for the
Milan
fans
Bologna.
in San
Oh my
Siro.
God.
Milan have
This is
waited
0-0,
a
right?
decade
Yeah.
to win the title. Could they now have only 8 more games to wait? Win them all, and it is surely theirs.
Inter has lost against
Oh,
Sassuolo.
the shirts.
Rafael
Dude, look at those
Yes.
disgusting
including
shirts.
Barrow here. And he
The
lets one
most
go, and it's
selling
tipped over the
shirt.
top brilliantly.
Dude,
Yeah.
did you see the most selling shirt of the season?
Rafael
Yep.
Leao, that's nice. It's Calabria. A night of frustration, a night of near misses.
I actually wanted to buy a Scudetto shirt, but they are sold out everywhere.
They must believe that.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are live at the Stadio Grande Torino in Turin.
At first, I wanted to get the black one, the one that the players were wearing,
the league leaders,
but they were sold
Milan,
out
who are
in a
1 point
minute.
clear right now.
Then I wanted to buy the white one. The white one is sold out as well now.
Brahim Diaz. Brought down by Pobega. Belotti. Oh, they've worked this really nicely. Ricci with a chance.
Yeah, this is another draw, right? 0-0.
Voivoda kills one. Good save.
Maganda.
Up towards Belotti. Brought it down brilliantly. A fantastic block by
Tomori.
Tomori. Tonali. Lovely skill. And still Tonali. And that's it. It's 4 points dropped in the space of a week.
Rough.
After this, we only need.
San Siro watched and waited as events at Spezia unfolded. A sense of the inevitable about it all, perhaps, as Inter won to move back top, but it's only by 1 point. Kalulu.
All right.
Good looking ball. Rafael Leao comes onto it.
Kalulu had a few assists, huh, too?
What a finish it was. What a start.
Almost as many assists and goals as celebrities.
I think 2 or 3.
But Macias is there. But Milan win on Good Friday in the title race. They battled as they seem to battle every single week. 1 step closer toward the ultimate glory.
Let's have a quick check on the top of the table.
Even Juventus is coming back for a while.
Oh yeah, Juventus could have.
The other Roman side now about to take on Milan, who need the win to go back on the top of the table, because the run-in looks difficult.
Really has seemed to have adjusted well from the change from wing back to full back now. Lanzini, Milinkovic, Savage with the cross!
This is when we were playing, our defense was going back to what they were.
Tomori had a bad game. Had a bad first half. A very bad one.
For the run of Rafael Leao, who's got there. Angles tight, Giroud! Equaliser! Rafael Leao. And still, brilliant play. Can he finish it? Great save. In trouble here. Cherby with the header. And Ibrahimovic.
This is when all Inter fans complained about Tonali committing the foul and accepting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For Pioli, this was one of the most important games. The Lazio game.
This afternoon to take on Fiorentina. The hosts hold on to a 2-point lead at the top of the table with just 4 games to play. And after their city rivals stumble in their game in hand on Wednesday night against Bologna, the fate of the Scudetto is now very much in the RossonARI's own hands. And he is used.
I didn't see the first half. I didn't see that.
I can't believe Giroud missed that one-on-one.
Yeah. Lovely footwork. Good ball in as well.
What a
that was incredible.
We must have gotten like 10 points this season only from a guy.
For sure.
No, it was 22. Milan got us 22 points.
Is that
22?
Yeah, that's the last article I read about him, is that he got us 22 points.
That's
So
insane.
isn't that like a record? 22?
I'm just letting y'all know what I
I'm
read.
saying he is the MVP of the Serie A.
Against Verona, here in the city of Romeo and Juliet, another chapter of.
Yeah, it has to go to Leao, but he is for sure the best goalkeeper in Serie A, hands down. Not even
away form has been fantastic.
Not even close.
Another great ball in, and it's tipped over Caprari. Lazovic into the box he goes. He's got 2 targets.
It was the moment where I thought, fucking hell, here we go, man.
Yep. Yeah.
We're done.
Why?
Because Verona scored.
Oh,
but then we dominated them after that.
Oh,
we didn't give a shit.
Was this Giroud's terrible game? He had a terrible
game
here.
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet, another chapter of 2 warring tribes. James Horncastle, who'd you like tonight?
I like Milan, James, just because their away form has been fantastic.
Centre-backers, another great ball in, and it's tipped over Caprari. Lazovic into the box he goes. He's got 2 targets. Magnan's not getting to it.
Oh yeah.
This was Leao carrying us on his back. Leao and Tonali.
This is where Leao took the MVP.
Yep.
But he may not be needed. Lau goes on. Milan go in front. Tonali tucks it in on the back post. Here's Florenzi.
Man, imagine if we got to play the final game of the season at San Siro. It would have been bonkers.
Yep.
Behind early on, went on to win on Friday night and thought that maybe now Pioli and Milan would crack, but they never seem to crack. Always patient, always prepared.
They will not crack,
always
man.
brave. They
They're
went
going
behind
with
again
it.
tonight, but it didn't deter them. They hit back and they hit back hard.
We salute Alessandro Nesta and he salutes the crowd at San Siro, this magnificent stadium which prepares to witness Milan's penultimate game of this Serie A season at home to Atalanta if they get a better result than their time.
Did you guys also read the part of the Maldini interview when he talks about the new stadium?
No, what did he say?
That he says because there are rumors about the stadium being 55,000 capacity, and Maldini says like San Siro or the new stadium should at least have 70,000.
Wow.
And he talks like the clubs like Inter and Milan should not have 50,000 fucking capacity stadiums. They should have 70 at least, but I would prefer 80, same as San Siro. And he's right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
All the real big teams have massive stadiums.
Yeah.
Like why should we be like the garbage Juventus?
Like what the fuck is Juventus thinking?
But because in Delle Alpi they had like super low numbers. And also, Juventus is the most popular by far club in Italy, but the vast majority of Juve fans come from the south of Italy. They live like 500 kilometers away from Turin.
So the majority of the fans in Turin are they support Torino probably.
50-50.
Oh, okay. Crazy stuff. The stadium in this game was incredible. Dude, was maybe one of the. Can you remember like a better?
No. This was great.
The title will be Milan's for the first time since Nesta used to play for them.
One could come in tonight. As Muriel lets fly.
What a save.
Rafael Leao. It's Rafael Leao through the goalkeeper's legs and into the back of the net. Game will be up as far as the defending champions are concerned.
Here, tail with the George Weah. The reincarnation.
A magnificent goal. Milan have done their bit.
Oh, man.
Also, one thing I want to say about Giroud, man, is that because Giroud is 35 years old, but he got such a good relationship with Ibra, even with Ibra being arrogant and Ibra wanting all the attention. Giroud never had a problem with that.
Yeah.
Which was super good for the whole locker room.
Actually, didn't Giroud? I read, I think today or something. Giroud referred to him as his big brother or something like that.
Yeah. He made a post on Instagram about that.
Oh, okay.
Between two great rivals, the city of Milan holds its breath. Nerazzurri or Rossonari, champion or challenger. And he's hard to catch once he gets on the ball. And he's off, is Rafael Leao. And he looks for Giroud and he found
Leao was unplayable, man. But in my opinion, the game against Sassuolo was our absolute best game of this season. Because we started from the first second, and we looked like lions out there.
Yeah, and we didn't sit back after the first goal. Like we wanted more and more and more.
We were eating that. Like I remember Tomori and Kandulu both being beyond the middle line of the pitch. Like we were there out looking for blood.
Dude, what an incredible season.
Yeah.
Hey Roy, look at Skillet's message.
You Juve will expand their stadium more and more.
Finally, it's their day again. More than a decade in the making. The Scudetto is
It
finally
felt
won.
good that the two teams that wrecked
Their
us, we
19th
we
title.
went could beat them.
What a day
Sassuolo and Fiorentina. It was good that we got that over with.
Yeah. Yes, two teams that always have given us problems.
of Italian football.
And this YouTube channel only does Milan videos, right?
He's obviously a Milanista because most of his videos are Milan, but he does other ones too. But man, this thing he put together is a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's very. It's better than the Milan official.
Yeah, it's better than it is. It really is.
It is. Like I started watching the Milan official video about the road to the Scudetto. I couldn't finish it. The music is so bad, bro. Like what is that?
Terrible.
Super techno electro music. Like fucking hell. What am I, 5?
Look, I spent 2 minutes on it and I closed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, this one here, guys, this one is one that we can put in our vaults, and we can go back to this one, remember incredible memories. Wow. Did you guys know about this channel? I didn't know him. Did you guys know him?
No, I have come across it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Matrix Comp and a lot of his material, a lot of his videos are Milan videos. Even his.
Yeah. Yeah, he is clearly a Milan fan. But just look at his viewer counts, man. It's crazy to me, bro. Like, it's...
Guys, I'm reading right now that apparently Milan want to sign Diaz permanently in the summer. Must be fake news.
Big Size must be thrilled.
And I'm also reading that that Newcastle is really pushing for Botman.
Yeah.
He can join. I do not want Botman to come. Our defensive line will not be able to push high up like how it does with Botman.
I don't know. I don't know how fast Botman is, but the problem is
slow.
that
He's slow.
We also need defenders to score us 1 or 2 goals with headers, man. We've not scored a single goal from a corner kick this season. Not a single goal.
Well, I would go for Bremer.
Yeah, I'd rather go for Bremer too. I don't want to compromise our defense just so that way we can have a tall, slow defender.
But doesn't Torino play with 3 defenders?
I mean, we can do the same thing too.
Yep.
I mean, in transition, we play with 3 defenders anyways. We might as well just make the transition.
Did you guys see this? What Big Size has written?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so retarded. Man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So retarded.
They should have understood like the emotions though. Like
no, but not even that, because I understand the leaders of the Curva is in the sense that they knew that it's not right to do that because you give the players space. You don't go and overwhelm them. But that being said, after the deed is done, why are you hitting people, man? What is this shit? They were slapping people left and right. Like, what the fuck?
They should have made it known before the game even started.
Like, they probably have. Like, they have probably told people, you don't go outside. Because the thing is that the leaders of Curva, they have direct relationship with the management. Because they go to the stadiums before the game starts in order to put all the decoration and everything. So they have, like, certain perks because they are the leader of the ultras. But the thing is, some people must have been new there, or just people who got a hold of the ticket because they were in the Sassuolo stadium. So they just left and they were like, "Fuck it, I don't care. I'm not a part of the Curva." And then when they came back, they were slapping people left and right. What the fuck?
I would have just stayed on the field. I'm not getting slapped.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who it is.
I'll be like, no way, Jose, man. I'm staying here with my man Diaz.
If your man is Diaz, then it's only right that my man be Salamakers.
Yeah.
Nathan, Tix Eyes thinks you're lying. Did you really read that?
I didn't. What did he say?
About Diaz.
No, I literally just read that right now.
Is it on Sempre Mille?
Let's see, who was it? That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is like anything real. I haven't even seen this news
I
article.
think it is real.
The hardtackle.com by Kesvav Awasti. I can't even say the fucking person's name. I'll send the link. I don't know if I can do it, or do I need to put it to the chat first, or
Yeah, go ahead in the private chat.
in the private chat? Okay.
Saki says Maldini is a fuori classe, he's a world class. Irragionevole non confermarlo. Says makes no sense not to renew him.
I put it in the private chat, right, so you can click on it.
AC Milan ready to sign Brahim Diaz permanently. Yep.
I told you. I wasn't lying. I would never lie about something that I simply don't want to happen.
Guys, I have to leave, but I'll keep on watching. So
Well, actually,
keep
I gotta
the
close. It's late.
keep the entertainment going. No, don't do that.
No,
I
it's
gotta
already
close.
2:30 in the morning for me, and I got to go to work at
All right, guys.
9:30.
All right then. So I'm gone, guys. Have a good one. Sleep tight.
Peace out, bro. Ciao. Arrivederci.
Ciao.
Alla prossima.
Arrivederci.
Nathan, have a good one. It's late for us. It's 12:30 for me. 2:30 for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And as always, guys, if there's any new people in the chat, don't
Oh
be
yeah.
afraid to join.
I'm waiting for that Juventino to
Join.
join. I'm looking forward for that
Oh
Juventino
yeah,
to join.
I messaged him on one of the YouTube videos, and he said the next time he probably didn't realize that you doing a late live, but I told him that he needs to get into the group chat. But I told him be ready to be attacked because you're a Juventino. So
I'm not gonna attack him.
no, not you or me, but they still ain't gonna like him.
That's it. Well, that's gonna be nasty if Vasily's here, if that guy's here. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see. We'll see. Maybe we are doing a watch along. We'll see. Obviously, I can't do it, but maybe Lyot or Antonio will do it. All right, Nathan. I will see you probably soon. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining us tonight. Peace out,
yeah.
brah. Forza Milan.
Adios. Forza Milan.
To the chat, everybody, thank you for being here with us. Like, share, subscribe, blah 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 blah. Forza Milan Brothers, Forza Top 4, Forza Krunic. We already have Juventini in the group chat. Alright guys, have a good night and we'll see you next time. Ciao.